Lizi rubbed her sleepy eyes and got up from the creaking old wooden bed. Outside the window, the neon lights in Shanghai were like countless restless firecrackers, reflecting her rental house less than 20 square meters. The air was filled with the smell of oil sold outside the next door, and the aroma of the soap she ordered last night was scattered. As a small net, this is what her daily routine is like. When she wakes up in the morning, she still has to look at her mobile phone and think about today's live broadcast content. Fans are only 200% off, and their income is barely enough to pay the rent. Life is like a stagnant beach, without any turmoil. Oh, it's another ordinary day. Lizi muttered self-deprecatingly, grabbing her phone and opening the live broadcast app. Her channel is called Lizi's Strange Little Girl, which specializes in urban rumors and gossip, and occasionally sells small items. But there are always fewer viewers, and the screen is mostly filled with chicken soups that, come on, don't give up, and it feels even more disturbed when you hear it. Today is the weekend, and she was planning to go to her ancestral home to flip through old things. Yui walked out early, and the old house left behind was in the suburbs, filled with old things from Chenyan. Lizi rides the shared car, shaves over her face with a whirring wind, bringing the heat of late summer. She pushed open the spotted wooden door, and the dust came over like a fog, making her cough. The air in the house is hot and corrupt, like a secret sealed by time. While rummaging through the floor, she touched an old box wrapped in cloth. When I opened it, I found some yellow letters and a folded sheepskin paper. The paper is painted with strange lines and runes, like hidden treasures in ancient dramas. Lizi's heartbeat accelerated inexplicably, and she carefully lifted it. At that moment, a warm current penetrated from her fingertips into the brain, as if something was opening in her vision. Those runes suddenly came alive, like floating stars, pointing to a corner of the city. What is this? Lizi murmured, and a clear image appeared in her brain. An ancient method hidden in the huts on the high floor was like a thread. She blinked, and the feeling retreated like a tide, but the lines on the map seemed to have a layer of light in her eyes. Goldfinger. She snatched her head and laughed at herself, thinking too much. This thing looks like a relic map in the novel of Cultivating Immortals, and it may be a collection of Yui. But I just told her that this was not simple. Back at the rental house, Lizi decided to try live broadcast. She put the map on the table and opened the mirror. Hello everyone, dear fans. Today Lizi is a little different for everyone. I found an antique map in my ancestral home, which looks super mysterious. Let's read it together, and I might be able to dig out some hidden secrets in the city. The live broadcast room was just open, and the popularity was only 50. The screen was slowly brushing. The anchor is selling secrets again? This picture looks fake, haha. Lizi smiled, adjusted the lights, and made the map appear clearly in front of the lens. She took a deep breath and the warm current in her brain surged up again. In the field, the runes of the map began to rotate and point to an old building near the Shanghai outdoor beach, an old pavilion surrounded by a modern building, which was said to be in the late Qing dynasty. Look here, Lizi pointed to a twisted rune circle on the map, and her voice couldn't help but feel excited. This is a small paradise, hiding the thread of spiritual rejuvenation. Do you know? In the city now, spiritual rejuvenation is actually coming back quietly. Just like the novel, ancient eagles begin to wake up. This rune represents the ring spirit, which points to the old site of the Dragon King's palace in the outer beach. It was originally a place where mortals gather, but now. Before he finished speaking, Lizi felt a string of instructions flashing in her brain. She subconsciously reached out her hand and planned several hand gestures in the air. The picture in the live broadcast suddenly twisted, as if the lens caught a strange phenomenon. The air on the table waved slightly, and a faint blue light escaped from the map, spreading like a morning fog. Lizi was stunned. That was spirit. It was faintly real, and she felt a clear breath pouring into her nose, as refreshing as a mountain spring water. Oh my God, is this spirit? Lizi's voice shook and her eyes widened. The live broadcast burst instantly. Cross. Is this a special effect? It's so real. Anchor, how did you do it? The popularity ranged from 50 to 500, and then rose like a rocket. Lizi came back to her mind and explained happily, it's not a special effect. This image is true, and I just cracked this small illusion of magic. It summoned the spiritual trace hidden in the city. Do you feel it? On the outside, the spiritual concentration is now 10% higher than usual. This is a proof of rebirth. The audience was stunned. Someone switched to the outdoor beach to verify the situation. The screen was filled with crazy, I went to the outdoor beach. It really has a slight sway, and it feels different. The number of fans exceeded 1,000 from hundreds, and then there were thousands of people. Lizi's heart was pounding, which was the feeling she had never experienced. Deep inside, the confusion seemed to be blown away by the wind. It turned out that she was not the red net without anyone to ask. This image was her turn. At the climax, black fans appeared in the screen. What to wear? Cultivating Immortals. Pure hype. Who is the beginning of this year's faithful spirit? Anchor, you are cheating on traffic. Another article, fake it, can't even afford the special effects engineer? I'm so laughing to death. Lizi's eyebrows were snaking, but the corners of her mouth raised a curve of confidence. She grabbed her phone and switched to the map special. Don't believe it? Then I'll show you it's time to see. There is a small illusion hidden in this rune circle, which can reveal the direction of the spirit after cracking it. She closed her eyes and focused her eyes, and the golden fingers in her brain guided them accurately like navigation. The fingers were light in the air, and the air in the live broadcast moved again, this time even more obvious. A small group of light fog condensed in front of the lens, turning into fine starlight, emitting a faint fragrance of grass and trees. The idea of the black fan, urban comic king, was instantly calm, and the curtain turned around and mocked him. Lizi closed his mouth. This is real kung fu. The anchor is awesome, and it is proved that cultivating immortals is not a dream. Lizi replied with a smile, my dear, cultivating immortals is not a novel, it is real. The fate in the city is awakening, and we ordinary people can also reach it. Who says that the dick can't be reversed? Her voice mirror, and the screen came like a tide. Support Lizi. I'm so fan. The platform algorithm captured the popularity, and the live broadcast was instantly recommended to be popular searches, and the income doubled from the usual tens of dollars to thousands. Lizi looked at the data in the background and a heat surged in her heart. From the moment of confusion to the excitement, she felt like a broken butterfly, with her wings finally expanding. Suddenly, a curtain popped up. Anchor, I am your fan Qingyu. Is that hand just now an ancient method? Do you need an assistant to run the live broadcast? I know the knowledge of cultivating immortals, and can help you interact. Lizi's eyes lit up and she said, thank you Qingyu. I'm even more motivated with fans like you. Let's discuss next live broadcast together. When the live broadcast ended, the popularity was stable and devastated. Lizi closed her lens and leaned against the chair, looking at the map intently. This is an opportunity to change one's fate, she thought. The family's family may be hidden here. At the same time, at the other end of the city, in a dimly lit apartment, Yunshu stared at the screen of the mobile phone. Her eyebrows were tightly locked. She is a well-known internet celebrity in the fairy cultivation circle. Her fans start with 100,000 fans and share secret videos. Just after I saw Lizi's live broadcast, the runes on the map made her heart shocked. She was so familiar, like a completely lost picture. Where did this girl get it? Yunshu murmured, quickly clicking on the backstage, and starting to investigate Lizi's IP and background. Her fingers danced on the keyboard, and a flash of greed flashed in her eyes. This story would never be allowed to swallow it alone. In Lizi's rental house, the air still remains the warmth after the live broadcast last night. The mobile phone screen was lit up constantly, and the notification sounded like a rapid drum, making her feel uncomfortable. After the live broadcast last night, fans went from thousands of people to 50,000, and the platform push came like snowflakes. Some asked her if she was a professional immortal blogger, and some people directly gave gifts and asked her to continue reading the map. She rubbed her sore eyes, looked at the morning fog in Shanghai outside the window, and the high floors were filled with gray light. The smell of oil came from the breakfast steak from the floor, mixed with the aroma of home-cooked cooking, which made her stomach growl. But now, she has no time to have breakfast. The second live broadcast is very tight, so she can use the hot iron. Good morning, my parents. Lizi is here again. She took a deep breath and opened the live broadcast room. In front of the lens, she laid the map on the wooden table, with the background of last night's pastry bowl that had not been washed yet, and was grounded like a neighbor girl. The picture lit up, and the popularity broke in an instant, and the curtain came like a tide, anchor. The spirit effects of last night were so real. Continue to interpret, what's the secret in the second floor of the map? Lizi smiled, and the sound was filled with a slight awakening of Shali. Haha, good morning everyone. Last night was its debut, and today we will go deeper. The first floor of the map is the spiritual spirit, which proves that the urban spirit is reviving. What about the second floor? It points to the hidden society of immortals. Do you think Shanghai is just a high-rise building? Error. Below is a circle of monks hidden by mortals who do not know about them. They talk about the spirit stone transactions in the cafe and pass on secret magic talismans in the underground railway. Her fingers slimly, and the golden fingers in her brain were slightly slim. The runes traveled like live fish, outlining a secret picture. In the smoke of the outdoor beach, monks exchanged elixirs in a low voice. Behind the noise of the Nanjing Road pedestrian street, there was a spirit-blocked auction of the magic weapon. Lizi said excitedly, look at this line, it connects the hidden social network, the underground network of urban immortal cultivators. It's not science fiction, it's real. For example, the store on the Huangpu River that seems to sell antiques is actually a black market for spiritual instruments. Who has been there? Tell me the screen. The live broadcast exploded. The screens were flooded with the screen, I've been there. The owner of the store always wears a jade pendant, shining. How do you know about Anchor? The inside story. The popularity climbed smoothly, and Lizi was just saying that she could afford to play, but her phone suddenly shook, and a private message jumped out. Delegator ID, Jing Lao Jun, girl, there are several ways to read your explanation, but it's too clean. The second level of the map requires the help of the mind method, otherwise it will be easy to get out of trouble. Want to learn? Go back to me. Lizi's heart jumped. How did this person know? She glanced at the live broadcast and replied in a low voice, who are you? How did you contact me? The other party replied in seconds, Li Jing, a wandering cultivator in the world. I watched the live broadcast last night. Your bloodline is full of ancient pictures. Come on, let's chat. Lizi hesitated and clicked to chat privately. An old man with white hair appeared in the picture, with an antique book room in the background, with yellow rolls piled on the bookshelves, and there was a faint smell of sandalwood in the air. Li Jing looked at her narrowly. Little girl, is the map of family life? Didn't you tell you how to understand the answer? Lizi was stunned. Family? She remembered Yui's old letter and mentioned the misunderstanding blood of immortal cultivation. How do you know? Li Jing smiled, his voice as deep as an old clock. I have countless people. I heard that the first lesson, map interpretation, relies on the spiritual method of thinking. Close your eyes, keep your mind on the dantian, and silently recite visual realization. Try. Lizi did as he did, and the warm current in his brain was surging, and the second level of the map in his field suddenly opened up. Fu culture is the link, pointing to a missing mental method of thinking, the name, spirit of spirit, which can guide the spirit into the body. It's done. Lizi slimmed her eyes and exclaimed in a low voice. Li Jing pointed out, it's good, the roots are good. The live broadcast demonstration will be given to fans, but don't show your bottom. Remember, the road to cultivation is full of peace and stability. After closing the video, Lizi felt like she was hit by chicken blood, and she touched the door from last night's cabbage. She took a deep breath and returned to the live broadcast. My dear, I just contacted a past life and learned some tricks. Now, we will crack the core of the second level, a chapter on the tragedy of the immortal heart. The spiritual symbol, the entrance door of urban monks, can make you feel spiritual flowing, as warm as if you had drunk a cup of hot chocolate. The curtain was crazy, front. Awesome. Demo. Lizi sat down with her legs, and the lens pulled her hands closer. She closed her eyes and recited the mind method silently. Her fingers were painting circles in the air, and the air was filled with moisture like a river. Suddenly, a blue light escaped from the map, surging on her fingertips, traveling all over her body like a wire. Lizi slimmed her eyes and her face was slightly red. Do you feel it? The spirit flows, from the dantian to the veins, and the warm current flows through her limbs. We in the city can also cultivate immortality. Try taking a deep breath with me. Fans were interacting with each other very enthusiastically, and some people switched their home screens during the live broadcast. I tried it. The palms are hot. It's so amazing, I've ordered. The popularity surged, and the number of subscribers went straight from 50,000 to 100,000. The platform launches a notice. Congratulations, you won the first sponsorship. A spiritual appliance online store called, Ms. Lizi, your live broadcast is so eye-catching. We sponsor 1,000 spirit stones, which cost 50,000 yuan to buy equipment. Lizi smiled and felt a sense of accomplishment in her heart. This is not just traffic, but a practical resource. She started to transform from a single gun into a half-baked reader. At the climax, the screen suddenly made a black message. The anchor is a cheat. The special effects of last night were later. Looking at this post, Lizi's background is suspicious, and the map is P. Lizi clicked the link, which was an anonymous post, with a video clip of Yunshu, suggesting that she copied it. Lizi's eyebrows were snaking, and she knew there was a ghost in her heart. Yunshu? She got that rival last night. Using Li Jing's teachings, she closed her eyes and scanned the screen IP with her golden finger in her brain, and locked the source head, Yunshu's assistant account number. Don't worry, my godson wants to make trouble. Lizi sneered and opened the screen to share. She switched to Yunshu's old video. Look, this is Yunshu's live broadcast last month. She demonstrated spiritual protection, but I used the new spirit to see it, fake. Air fluctuations are caused by fans, and the runes are painted by PS software. Yunshu, do you dare to argue? She slapped her fingers, and the analysis diagram was projected in the live broadcast, and the runes line was distorted and clearly. The curtain turned against him. Yunshu has been wearing it for half a year. It's dark. Support Lizi, it's really hard. Yunshu's fans were furious. She was so angry that she smashed her phone in her apartment. The noise of the carriage outside the window was like ridicule. The public comments were instantly slanted, and Lizi's subscription increased by another 20,000 yuan, and the black post was flooded. At this moment, the private message was again, and an ID, Qingyu Furniture, posted, Anchor, I was the one that Qingyu who played the TV last night. Your reaction was booming. I know how to operate live broadcasts. I used to help the little verses to get excited. Do you need an assistant? For example, optimize the TV interaction, add a point of BGM to enhance the atmosphere. Lizi's eyes lit up and she replied, Qingyu. Welcome. Come and chat. The video was connected, and a young man in his 20s appeared. The background was a simple student dormitory, with a table full of Immortal Cultivation novels and computer accessories. Qingyu grinned, Sister Lizi, I am your loyal. I just had the black material, and I will help you to save the screenshots. Suggestions: add a lottery prize in the next live broadcast, and win fans and give away small tips. On the operation, I can help you edit short videos and recommend hot searches. Lizi heard it and pointed it like a garlic, it's great. The single tiring is too tiring. With you helping you, the team will take shape. Come on, let's try now, Qingyu, you can go to the mirror and read the third-level trailer with me. Qingyu excitedly entered the screen, and the two of them said to each other, Sister, this talisman, the literary figure, is like a mystery, and you need to be supported by fighting. Yes, Qingyu, you know what you know, and you will take you next time. The curtain was so popular, new CP? Support team. Lizi felt that she relaxed a lot on her shoulders, and she was alone in her heart. She had to carry it alone since she had been with her partner now, and now she has a stable road. She remembered the family's inheritance, the lost blood secret, and she decided to dig it out no matter how difficult it was. At the end of the live broadcast, Lizi turned off the lights, and only the map was shining in the room. She touched the sheepskin paper and Li Jing's words appeared in her brain, verify the map and have to explore it yourself. The old site of the Dragon King's house in the foreign country, a small-scale trial starts from there. Tomorrow, take Qingyu and go and see the hidden magic. Who knows if this step will hit the iron plate? In Lizi's rental house, the sun shone diagonally from the gaps in the window, and was on the map on the table, like giving those runes a layer of gold. She didn't sleep well last night, and her brain was full of family affairs and upcoming exploration plans. Qingyu was bored in the voice until midnight last night, and was as excited as a middle school student. Su No would bring his Immortal Cultivation equipment. In fact, it was a talisman learned from several novels and an antique dagger I bought online. Lizi rubbed her son's vagina, grabbed her phone and sent a private message to Li Jingyuan, Old man, today I'm going to the outdoor resort to try the water. Are you guiding the way? I'm still in the clouds. The reply was quick, go, be careful to guard the beasts on the outside. Remember, the way of playing is like a chess game. Watch first and then make a move. Open the video, I will teach you the basics. Lizi relaxed her voice, and a warm feeling rose in her heart. From one person to one's leader and a partner, it felt like she finally grabbed a life-saving straw. She washed up quickly, carried a small bag, and had maps, water tanks, and battery packs in her head. Outside the door, the streets of Shanghai are already getting hot, the beans served in the breakfast scent and the sound of the electric car's horns are scattered. She rode on the shared car, and the wind blew her hair, thinking, if it succeeds today, the family's secret will be close. Qingyu was waiting at the door of the agreed coffee shop, 1.8 meters tall, wearing a t-shirt with the Cultivation Immortal Little Man printed on it and carrying a mountaineering bag in his hand, with a bulging head inside. Sister Lizi. Early. He waved his hand, and the hot blood on his face made Lizi laugh. What are you wearing in this bag? Spiritual pill magic? Qingyu smiled and opened the chain, a piece of self-made talisman paper, a multifunction knife, and a GoPro image head. The full set of fight support. Use this live broadcast, and the picture is stable. Sister, your golden fingers are interpreted and combined with my help, it will definitely be invincible. The two of them walked and chatted, and the underground was filled with office workers, and the air was as hot as a steamer. Lizi said in a low voice, Qingyu, the risk of exploring live broadcast is huge, and every accident is happening. Qingyu patted her chest, Sister, trust me. I have been practicing in the novel for 3 years, and I have a little bit of a loss of spirit. The first battle of the team, we have to do it. Lizi pointed and felt a little worried in her heart. She opened her phone and sent a private message to Li Jing, we've come out, video link. As soon as the screen flashed, Li Jing's old face appeared, the background was the familiar book room, and there was no tea fragrance coming out. Don't start the live broadcast first, listen to me. The peripheral girth is called dark, which will create illusions and confuse people's hearts. You use the spiritual girth to scan the gaze between the runes. After the cracking, the spirit girth will appear, and the low-level kid Qingyu can handle it. Lizi remembered it in her heart, and the two soon arrived at the beach. The wind on the Huangpu River is filled with moisture, and tourists are like hiding, and the reflection of the high-rise building is shaking on the water. The old site of Dragon King Hall is hidden in a corner of the park. It is an inconspicuous stone pavilion, surrounded by greenery, and there is a tidal and earthy smell in the air. Lizi took a deep breath and pressed the live broadcast link. Hello, everyone. Lizi and the team made their debut. Today I went to the outdoor beach to explain the first door of the map, the entrance to the city's hidden hideaway. Qingyu put the lens on the head. The screen cut to Qingyu, and he put out a V-shaped handwriting. Fighting fans, fight support is in place. Stay with my sister. The popularity of the live broadcast instantly reached 200,000, and the screens flooded the screen. The team has been built? Exciting. Be careful, there are many people in the outdoors, don't get into trouble. Lizi opened the map, and the golden fingers in her brain scanned like thunder. The rune lights up and points to the secret crack under the stone pavilion. The spirit is full of air, storming like an underground spring. Look here, the entrance is under the cornerstone of the pavilion. Are you ready to witness the cultivation of immortality? She squatted down, touching the stone mask with her fingers, and the warm current flowed in. In the field, the mist rises as the fog rises, and the illusion comes. The surroundings turn into a dense forest, with a low growl. Lizi's heart beat faster, and her heart was alone. Don't panic, this is the way to go. Li Jing's voice came from the earphones. Still you. Look for your eyes, 3 fingers on your left hand, and silently recite breaking the fog and realizing the truth. Lizi did as she waved her hand, and the fog subsided like a tide, revealing the blue door under the cornerstone. The live broadcast screen captured this moment and the screen exploded. The trough. Is there really a door? The golden finger is awesome, and the positioning is accurate. Qingyu happily lifted up the head of the statue. Sister, go in? Lizi clicked and slapped in from both sides. It is a narrow tunnel with walls covered with moss, air-drying diaper, and a mixture of soil and wild flowers. The live broadcast extended the lens, and the number of fans was stable and exceeded 300,000. This is a swaying edge. The first formation is at the top. Qingyu, beware. The voice fell, and 2 low-level spirit beasts appeared in the shadows ahead. They looked like wild cats, their eyes were green, and their claws were flashing with cold light. They growled and brought a scent of fishy wind. Come! Qingyu shouted, pulled out the talisman from his bag, and threw it away. Fire talisman, explode. The talisman ignited a small fireball in the air, smashing it at the spirits, forcing them to retreat. Lizi's heart was tightened and her golden fingers scanned. The weakness of the spirit beast was on the abdomen. She shouted, Qingyu, the one on the left, attack the abdomen. Qingyu snatched the dagger and slashed the soft ribs of the spirit beast. The blood of the beast was pouring out, the fishy smell sucked the nose, and the other one was swept towards Lizi. She instinctively retreated, but her brain was flashed by Li Jing's basic method, protecting the circle. The fingers were striking, and the blue light circled around him, and the spirit hit the internet and retreated. Qingyu replenished his knife, and the 2 beasts turned into black smoke and dissipated. The live broadcast was crazy. Fighting live broadcast? It's so exciting. Qingyu is so explosive, it helps you score. The fans exceeded 500,000, and the gifts were raining. The platform's hot search was the first. The bigwigs in the cultivation circle started to show off. This girl has real goods, a new star. Lizi panted, wiped her sweat, and felt proud in her heart. She would only say on her lips that now she is using her hands to strike the spirit-retreating beast, which is a proof of growth. As we were celebrating, the core of the authentic artwork lighted up, and a primary spirit treasure that looked like a jade pendant appeared, the spiritual pendant, which can increase the absorption of spirit by 10%. Lizi's golden fingers were accurately positioned, and she reached out and grabbed the jade pendant. The jade pendant was as warm as jade, and the warm current entered the dantian. It's done. This is the first treasure, my parents, live broadcast evidence. The curtain was crazy, Baozang get. Lizi reversed the truth. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps came from behind. 3 figures entered, and the head was a young man with a golden hair dyed hair, with a bulging eyes and an imitation sculpture in his hand. Sister Yunshu's order, knock the map. Lizi was stunned. Yunshu. That black powder source. Golden finger scan, these three are low-level casual cultivators who come to interfere. The live broadcast screen cut out and the curtain was furious. Yunshu is making trouble again. Qingyu stepped forward. Want to slap? Haven't asked me. Lizi flew in her brain, and Li Jing's voice sounded, use the formation to counter. The periphery of the remains of the fog will lead them into the trap. She smiled wisely and changed her hand, turning the cracked fog counter to the invaders. The three of them stepped on the air with one foot, and they were swelling with a fog. In the illusion, they started to kill each other, and the sword light flashed, causing the head to break through and blood. What's the ghost? The blonde roared, but he was already deeply trapped and could not move. Lizi said coldly, Yunshu sent you. The live broadcast is full. Go back and tell her that cultivating immortals is not stealing chickens and touching dogs. Qingyu put on the talisman paper and blocked their retreat. Sister, don't you? The live broadcast was successfully pressed on the face, and the curtain fell down. Yunshu, the sound is over. Lizi is winning. Yunshu watched the live broadcast in the remote apartment, smashing her cup with anger. The river breeze outside the window was like her ambition was destroyed. Her reputation plummeted, and her fans fell like an avalanche. In the deep realm, Lizi breathed on the wall, and Qingyu came to the water tank. Sister, the team's first victory. She answered with a smile, and suddenly remembered when she was a child. Yui told the family story, saying that her ancestors were a family of immortal cultivation, and they missed overnight, leaving only maps. The mother cried and said, Z, don't touch those, it's dangerous. At that time, she didn't understand, she just felt wronged. Why are there always secrets hidden in her home? Now, holding the spirit pendant, her heart is twisting like a tide. It is no longer that confused Dick, this is the responsibility, to revive the family and guide the fans. She looked at Qingyu with a calm look on her face. Qingyu, from now on, we are a team. I am not only for myself, but also for everyone. Thank you, brother. Li Jinghua pointed at the video. Good girl, her leader's temperament is just beginning. I am familiar with the basics and the interpretation speed will be twice as fast as possible. Lizi said aloud and opened the map. The new rune lights up, pointing deeper underground in Shanghai, a large desert that hides the core secrets of the family. The warm current stormed, and she said excitedly, Qingyu, look. This is just a sidewalk, the next goal is a big run. Team, impulse. The two people exited from the tunnel, and the sunset in the outdoor beach was on the river, with golden light flashing. At the end of the live broadcast, fans left messages, looking forward to next time. Lizi turned off her phone and became more and more proud of herself. The road is still long, but now, she has teammates and direction, and her growth wings are getting wider and wider. Lizi's rental house has changed now. There are professional camera heads and ring-shaped lights on the table. The wall is filled with talisman posters sent by fans. The air is filled with newly bought sandalwood smell, replacing the past bubbles. After the live broadcast of the outdoor scene, her fans exceeded 1 million, and the platform came to invite him like a fishy cat. In the morning, the phone kept dinging. She rubbed her eyes and opened an official private message. Ms. Lizi, congratulations on being included in the list of the Immortal Cultivation Network. The theme of the first round, Urban Residential Secrets. The battle list has been released. Are you ready to shine, right? Lizi felt excited, and her heart was as if she had been alone in the flashing plan. She always hid in the corner to post videos. Is she now a positive competition? Okay, come on. She quickly replied to confirm, and then called Qingyu. Xiaoyu, have you got up? The platform invites the battle and we will upgrade to the operation. Add BGM and special effects wheels, and practice before the live broadcast tonight. At the end of the phone, Qingyu's voice was still sleepy and excited. Sister, I received it. I was editing last night's edit, and I clicked over 100,000. Yunshu was very quiet, and I heard that she was brushing black materials. The voice just fell, and the live broadcast app push popped up and searched, #Yunshu challenge Lizi hashtag. Lizi opened, and Yunshu's videos were listed. She was wearing a beautiful ancient dress, with a rockery landscape in the background, and her lingerie was strange. Did you hear that a certain Xinjiang network is hyped by maps? I am Yunshu, a veteran in the cultivation circle, and I will open a pic today. I got this part of the map information from a reliable channel. The picture cuts to a vague sheepskin paper film, which is the runes on the edge of Lizi's map. Lizi narrowed her eyes and swiped her golden fingers. This is the detail she accidentally revealed during the live broadcast last night, and was captured by the screenshot. Yunshu continued, there is a middle-level outdoor resort, and there is a magical elixir. Who can understand the reading standards? Who is the real online red? Lizi, dare to fight online. See it on the platform. The curtain area was already blown up. Yunshu is here again. Last time I flipped the car, do you dare this time? Come on, Lizi, abuse her. Lizi sneered, and her inner pressure came like a tide, but she took a deep breath. She had been defending for too long, and she took a shot this time. The trace of family inheritance is in the map. Yunshu wants to snatch it. No door. She opened the live broadcast trailer. My dear Yunshu picks up, Lizi takes the call. At 8 o'clock tonight, we will discuss the middle-level fantasy online. The team is in place. Who will win the ranking? At 8 o'clock in the evening, the live broadcast was crowded with 2 million people, and the platform was fighting on 2 channels. Qingyu operates on the backstage. The BGM is a low Guqin-equipped electronic rhythm. The wheel draws are constantly changing. Get out of the spirit tips. Lizi sat in front of the lens, the map opened, and Qingyu stepped into the edge of the screen, holding the image head to help. Sister, stay calm. I'll monitor the screen, and the scoundrel will seal it as soon as it comes. Lizi pointed and smiled. Xiaoyu, thank you. I feel at ease with you. Yunshu's channel was broadcast simultaneously. 2 assistants around her were like casual cultivators, and they were breathing. Start. This rune is the Phantom Round, and the middle entrance is in the tunnel at the bottom of the Huangpu River. 3 steps are needed to crack: induced air, broken shadow, and condense the pill. Lizi, your golden finger is fake, right? Yunshu slapped her finger, and her picture projected a shattered picture. The rune rotated, but the line was twisted and hidden. Lizi was not panicked. Her golden fingers in her brain moved like a precision instrument, and the rune's ducts appeared clearly. She closed her eyes and recited the spiritual method silently, and said with a light hand, error. This is the emoji. The entrance is not at the bottom of the river, but is the underground river behind the outskirts. 4 steps to crack: sighting eyes, turning the spirit, dispersing the illusion, and gathering the elixir. She demonstrated, and her fingers drew arcs in the air. The live broadcast screen captured a slight flash of blue light, and the faint smell of fog in the air, like the moisture on the river. Fans have proved that someone set up a show. I'm going to the riverside. There's really a sound of groundwater, unlike the tunnels that Yunshu said. Yunshu's face froze and said anxiously, nonsense. My story comes from the boss. But Lizi interrupted, where is the certificate? Look at this. She switched the special writing, and her golden fingers accurately tilted and added pictures, revealing the loopholes in Yunshu's version, the rune layer, and the spirit flows incorrectly. Yunshu, your picture is a stolen movie, which solves the reading deviation by 20%. The real fantasy contains the condensation pill, which can help to train the initial breakthrough of the atmosphere, not the low-level replenishment pill you said. The live broadcast was full of twists and turns. Lizi is awesome. Yunshu is thick. Fan Lizi, Yunshu is empty when she is empty. Yunshu's fans lost 100,000 fans, and she was so angry that she was so popular that she was so popular. The platform announced immediately, Lizi is out and ranked among the top 5. Sponsors pop up. A renowned spirit stone shop came to the video. Miss Lizi, congratulations. Sponsors 10 top-quality spirit stones, waiting for 500,000 yuan, to upgrade to the live broadcast room. Happy cooperation. Lizi smiled and rose, and her heart was high. This is not just a battle, but a resource snowball, the bigger it is. She turned her head and blinked at Qingyu. Xiaoyu, have you heard it? Our empire has started. At the end of the battle, Lizi did not give Yunshu a chance to breathe. She called the team. Qingyu, prepare for the battle. The middle level is in full swing, tonight. Yunshu gets the information and says he may be ambushed, so we will take the initiative to attack. Qingyu pointed his head, his eyes fixed. Sister, I will join you. From fans to partners, I, Qingyu, swear to my loyalty to death. I will help you dig the family's inheritance to the end. Lizi felt warm and patted him on the shoulder. Good brother, trust you. Let's go. Li Jing's private message arrived at a time. I will be in the air with my own appearance. I will bring a spiritual pendant and advanced skills will be delivered on the spot. Lizi was so excited that the two of them rushed to the park. The night wind blew the fishy smell of the river, and there was a spirit under the stone pavilion. Li Jing was already waiting there, with white hair flying, and was leaning on an ancient stick in his hand, and the jade beads on the stick shone brightly. Good, come quickly. Yunshu's mind is not right. Her story is a fake picture bought from the black market. But she will send someone to ambush, and the middle-level fantasy is in danger. The three of them joined hands to the authentic channel, and the live broadcast opened and extended the lens, and the popularity increased instead of reducing, continuing the war. Exciting. The underground river channel was slippery, the wall dripping sounded, and the air was thrilling with a bit of musty smell. Lizi headed with her golden fingers guided her. The entrance in the middle is in front, and the core of the illusion is the shadow demon will. Suddenly, the fog in front was full of energy, and the illusion came. Countless ghost shadows were swaying. Qingyu's image turned into a spirit beast and biting, and Li Jing's shadow turned into a sting. Lizi's mind shook, and her inner pressure exploded. Yunshu's sarcasm? Can't retreat. Li Jing said in a deep voice, still the mind. Advanced skills, use the spirit gathering pendant to attract air, silently recite the dispelling true condensation. I am protecting the method. Lizi held the tight jade pendant, and the warm current stormed into the dantian. She shouted, break. Her hands were like a sleigh, the blue light burst out, the phantom shattered, revealing her eyes. In a group of black fog, there were 3 crystal elixirs hidden, which dispersed the fragrance of plants and trees, which was the condensation pill. But at the moment of grabbing, the side wall cracked and 3 ambush figures emerged. It was Yunshu's subordinate who smiled at the blonde man. Sister, Yunshu's trap. Let's tell us, leave the elixir. Here. Qingyu swung on, and Fu Paper threw out a fire and grabbed a spiritual drama. Sister, I will protect you. He was quick and daggered and forced someone to retreat. Lizi's heart was moved. This kid, from the fan of the screen to the sword brothers, is as loyal as a iron. She countered, and her golden fingers scanned the weak point. The one on the left is injured. Qingyu, snatch. The two of them cooperated tacitly. Qingyu protected Lizi's blind corner, and a fire talisman exploded the trap. Lizi's hand turned the spirit, and the phantom power backed the ambush. The 3 of them screamed and dropped a jade card, Yunshu's information chip, recording the destruction picture she had taken, and the next story, the complete map of the joint black market. Li Jing slapped his stick and sealed Yu Jian. Okay, it's reversed. This information proves that Yunshu hooked up with an outsider and sent him to the platform. She's done. The ambusher was subdued, and Lizi grabbed the condensation pill and swallowed one. Dan medicine melts immediately when it enters the mouth, and the spirit is like a river rushing to the trench, urinating the veins. She sat in the air and turned her breath. Her dantian was hot and waved, and her realm broke through, the early stage of training. The whole body is light, the vision is clearer, and the spirit in the air is as accessible as your hands. The inner heart is twisted like a brake. I am no longer afraid of the pressure of the clouds. This is the taste of initiative, family property, I want to take it back manually. The live broadcast captured the breakthrough moment, and the screen went crazy. Have you been practicing? Lizi is invincible. Qingyu MVP, protect it. Fans exceeded 3 million, Yunshu's rumor was exposed, the platform blocked her number, and the discussion turned to Lizi. Li Jinggu stood up and patted her shoulder. Girl, I'm growing up. The lower layer of the map points to the core of the family, the underground palace in the old city of Shanghai. But Yunshu won't rest, she will pull the boss into the water. The three of them quit, the stars were sparse in the night sky, and the wind of the river blew away the mist. Qingyu supported Lizi and said, Sister, are you tired? But we win. Lizi smiled and held her jade and said, Not tired. With you and Mr. Li, I will walk smoothly. Tomorrow, I will be exposed, and then put it on the lower layer. My heart was as calm as ever, the reversal is not only in the red, but also in the beginning of the revival family. Suddenly, the phone vibrated, and an anonymous private message jumped out, Lizi, the map is mine. See you in the black market, otherwise the family secret will be exposed. Lizi's eyebrows were snaking, and her golden fingers scanned, Yunshu's IP. The little orgasm was like a storm, and she sneered, Come on, it's just the right solution. Lizi stared at the anonymous private message on her phone, and a sneer appeared on the corner of her mouth. The night wind in Shanghai outside the window poured in from the half-open window, scattering the moisture scent of the river, which made her brain wake up a little. Yunshu, this woman, still won't give up after she has lost her decision. See the black market? She tapped the table with her fingers, and a burst of fire broke out in her heart. She always hid behind the lens and was afraid of it. What about now? The fans have exceeded 3 million, and the live broadcast is like a small empire, with resources and partners all coming. You can't retreat, let her see what it means to take the initiative to attack. The next morning, Lizi called a team to hold a meeting in the rented temporary studio. This place is sponsored by the platform and is located in the high-end documentary building in a first Pudong. It is spacious and bright, with a wall covered with monitors and green screens, and the fragrance of a new coffee machine is scented in the air. Qingyu was already busy there, holding 2 cups of hot iron in his hand, and his eyes were filled with a bright light. Sister, morning. I took a picture of that private message last night. The IP tracker was Yunshu's assistant. Should we oppose the military? Expose her on the live broadcast? Li Jing also came, sitting on the sand with an ancient stick, her white hair shining in silver under the light. He squinted his eyes and looked at Lizi. Girl, he is very ambitious. Yunshu hooked up the black market, and there is a big fish behind him. But first, you can explore it, and it will be a big mess. I introduced a newcomer, Xiao Wei, a specialist in Fuyan, a casual cultivator who was poached from the hidden community network. Reliable. As soon as the door was pushed open, a short-haired girl walked in. She was 25 or 6 years old, carrying a tool kit, her eyes were as sharp as a knife. Sister Lizi, I am a fan of Sister Wei. I heard Mr. Li say, your golden fingers are awesome to read. I am here to replenish the shortcomings of her clothes. Try. She shook her hand, and the air on the table was slightly slim, and a small shield appeared. The blue light was soft, holding the coffee cup that Qingyu came over. Lizi's eyes lit up and her heart was relaxed. The team had been extended, from 2 to 4 people, it felt like a city wall was built, much more stable. Welcome, Xiao Wei. Before the live broadcast tonight, practice training and cooperation. Yunshu wants to penetrate it. There is no door. In the afternoon, Yunshu's invitation to cooperation came as scheduled. In the private message, she changed her gentle voice. Lizi, I misunderstood before. I have the information in the black market. Let's work together to find the middle level to escape. You'll get 30% of it. Lizi snorted coldly, and swiped her golden finger in her brain. This woman still wants to get a message. She replied, okay, see it online. Take your picture. Qingyu was monitoring the scene beside her and laughed. Sister, this is a self-stop network. Live broadcast preparations, BGM is excited. At 7 o'clock in the evening, the live broadcast of 2 channels was launched, with a direct popularity of 5 million. The platform searched and pre-popular hashtag Lizi cooperation and exploration hashtag. Lizi was confident in front of her lens, Qingyu and Xiaowei were on standby at the back, and Li Jing was intimidating. Yunshu cut into the picture, she turned into a delicate makeup, the background was Huali's live broadcast, and her language was hypocritical. My sister Lizi, my sister is wrong. Look, this is my sincerity, the middle-level scattered picture pointing to the core of the killing. She opened a paper, and the runes were blurry, but Lizi saw through it at a glance. This is the screenshot of her last live broadcast, and the fake was copied after taking it. My dear, everyone, look at Sister Yunshu's sincerity. Lizi smiled and changed her special writing, her golden fingers moved, and the rune in the field was twisted and clearly. Error. This picture is my killing film, and the spirit flows backward. The blood evil gate at the entrance to the killing sea is not the phantom bridge you said. Yunshu, the fake story you bought in the black market, want to steal the complete map through the team? The live broadcast is full, tell me, who instructed me? The live broadcast was blown up, and the curtain was like a rainstorm. Yunshu is installed again? Roll out of the circle of cultivation. Lizi is so angry that she is full of knowledge. Yunshu's face turned pale and said anxiously, you are bleeding. Where is the evidence? Lizi slapped her finger, projecting IP tracking and layer analysis, and proof of the figure marks. The platform intervened immediately, and the Yunshu channel blackened the screen, and her fans fell like an avalanche, from 500,000 to 200,000. The black market contact was also exposed, and the comment turned to Lizi, it's so good to have a face. Lizi's empire is invincible. The traffic was overwhelming, and the sponsoring phone calls kept responding, and a spiritual company threw millions of contracts. Yunshu smashed a mirror in her apartment, and the fragments reflected her twisted face, and the car outside the window was yelling like a mockery. She gritted her teeth and said, Lizi, wait. But her reputation had been destroyed, and the live broadcast empire became more and more stable in Lizi's hands. Lizi closed the connection and turned around and laughed at the team, fuck beautifully. Xiaowei, your shield is extra points. Qingyu, monitor the bull. Tonight, the middle level of the war, killing us, let's do it. As night fell, the 4 of them rushed to the entrance of the resort. The wind of the river was wailing, and the spirit under the stone pavilion was like a tide, and the smell of bloody iron lenses in the air made Lizi feel tight. The previous exploration leads to a timid and a mother's warning appears in her brain, the family is in secret. But now, holding the spirit pendant, the warm current of the Dantian was stable, and she took a deep breath. Is it afraid? That's the past. Today, I am the leader. The live broadcast extended lens opened, with a popularity of over 8 million, and the screens flooded the screen, middle-level killing? Exciting to death. The team is extended, Lizi is invincible. Lizi led the way into the tunnel, Qingyu carried the upgraded version of the statue, Xiaowei carried the tool bag, and behind Li Jing temple. My dear, the middle layer is a medium-grade spirit weapon that kills the guards of the siege, the shed shadow sword, which can siege the spirit like cutting vegetables. But the siege method is trapped step by step. Follow me. The golden fingers were burning, and the runes in the field were opened like spider network. She pointed in a low voice, turn left, avoid the ground and stabbing. Qingyu, beware of the front. The tunnel was as high as the head, and the blood evil door suddenly appeared. A red door was filled with runes that killed the air. The air around it was twisted, and there was a wind blade calling out. Lizi closed her eyes and felt a clear mind in her brain, her eyes were 3 inches above the door, and the weakness was the weakness point. It's done. My eyes are locked, and you're watching the live broadcast, this is a gold finger battle. She swept her hand and blue light shot out, hitting the top of the center. The evil spirit exploded like a smoke, and the door was shaking, but it immediately backfired, the ground cracked, and countless blood blades burst out, stinging the team straight. Be careful! Qingyu shouted, fighting to support the upgrade. He threw out the new level fire talisman, and the fire light was like a dragon to hold the blade rain. Xiaowei put on the shield, and the blue light was strong, holding the side wing killer. Sister, break the ball on the left. The two of them had a tacit understanding. Qingyu protected Lizi's blind horn, and the dagger drew an arc and cut a blood blade. Lizi guided her golden finger, turn right 2 steps and jump over the evil pit. Li Jing's stick was on the ground, helping to condensate. Girl, stable. I'm under pressure. The live broadcast screen captures every step, and the audience screams, avoid traps and operates. Qingyu MVP, cooperate with it. Lizi's heart beats like a drum, and her heart is as scared as a tide. If you are not careful, you will be in danger. But she gritted her teeth. Don't panic, the team believes me. Swatch the golden fingers again to see through the second level of trap, the shadow-killing ghost, and knocked out from the wall, and grabbed Xiaowei with cold claws. Lizi shouted, Xiaowei, lower your head. Qingyu, the fire talisman blocks the road. Qingyu rolled on, and the flames exploded. Lizi's hand turned around, his spirit was as tight as the internet, and the ghost turned into smoke and dissipated. The core of the murderer finally appeared, a blood-red fort, and a long sword with a black light flash floated on it, the Sha-Sha Shadow Sword. But the guardian beast appears, a blood shadow wolf in the late stage, red eyes, minions and teeth, roars shake, and the fishy wind sways. Lizi took a step back, afraid of being as cold as ice water. This beast is 10 times stronger than last time. I'm alone in my heart, run. No, I have always escaped from the shadows of the family since then, and now it is time to face it. The team is behind me, I can't fall. Go! Lizi shouted loudly, her golden fingers locked the wolf's belly and said, Qingyu, jealous enemy. Xiaowei, stoop. Before Qingyu rushed, the talisman threw out the smoke and the wolf was swept away. He flipped over and avoided it, and the dagger injured the wolf's legs. Sister, chance. Xiaowei was painting a siege, vines rose from the ground to snatch the wolf's body, Li Jing's stick slapped, and the evil spirit retaliated against the enemy's body. Lizi rose up, holding the spirit palm injected spirit into her breath, her fingers were like electricity, break. The blue light hit the weak point, and the wolf howled and burst into a bloody mist. The evil shadow drama fell into her hand, and the sword body was frozen into the bones, storming out a strong sword intention, straight into the veins, and enhancing her combat power. The spirit get. My God, it's been killed. Lizi wrote a drama, and the traffic in the live broadcast was over tens of thousands. The curtain was crazy, golden finger is divine, avoid death. The team is unrivaled, Lizi is growing. As the sponsorship reigned, the platform directly promoted global hot searches. Lizi panted and leaned against the wall, her heart twisted like a broken stone. She was afraid she would be gone, and replaced by the flame of bravery. This drama is not just a weapon, it is my new life. From a dick to a explorer, I finally stood firm. Li Jing approached and came over a jade silhouette. Girl, congratulations. The family traces, I have checked. Runes on the bottom of the map, there are traces of your missing person. Yui was once the elder of the Xizong Gate. The family was destroyed by the black market overnight, leaving only the map. The core is in the underground palace of the old city, with a secret treasure hidden in the rejuvenation. But Yunshu's backer is the Yuan, be careful. Lizi took the jade pendant, and with a swipe of her golden finger, the image appeared in her brain, the young shadow of her mother, her swaying back. Missing personalities? It turns out that it is not an accident, it is a slander. She held the sword tightly and her eyes were fixed. Old Li, thank you. The family's blood is so strong, I want to dig out the truth by myself. Team, rest for one night and be at the core tomorrow. Qingyu and Xiaowei, you are inseparable. Qingyu patted her shoulder and grinned, Sister, from the curtain to the battlefield, I will always support you. Xiao Wei pointed, I will cover the way of wearing. The four of them withdrew from the storm, the night wind blew away the blood, and the moonlight on the river was like silver. Lizi looked at the high building in the distance, her heart rising, the empire is expanding, and the road is extending. Yunshu's threat? Just a little wave. The core is overwhelming, waiting for me to conquer. But at this moment, the phone vibrated, and a new private message popped up. The black market boss invited him to fight. Lizi, the map will change your life. The battle will be decided tomorrow. Lizi's eyebrows were slightly snaked, and the fighting in her heart ignited. Come on, it's just a thorn. In Lizi's temporary studio, the air is filled with the bitter fragrance of freshly brewed coffee and the elegance of sandalwood. The monitor on the wall flashes the live broadcast data, and the number of fans is stuck at 3.5 million. Last night's private message for the black market invitation was like a thorn, which made her turn overnight, but now, holding the handle of the Sha sword, she felt the spirit of the Dantian rushing like a river. Outside the window, the morning fog in Shanghai was not dissipated, and the silhouette of the high floor was as blurred as a dream. She took a deep breath and turned to the team, my dear, Yunshu's backer is really good. But the core is in the underground palace in the old city area, and the family can't wait for the secret. Qingyu, the head is ready. Xiao Wei, the props of the sport are scattered. Mr. Li, you are pressing. The live broadcast will be open at 8 o'clock tonight, let's sweep Huanglong. Qingyu clicked his head and carried an upgraded version of GoPro, his eyes were filled with fire. Sister, don't worry. From fans to Iron Blood brothers, I, Qingyu, have made a lot of money. Those online networks in the Yunshu League? Let them come. Xiao Wei shook her short hair and made a comment in the toolkit. Sister Lizi, the shield has been upgraded, and she can beat the foundation. The team is brave, and it will benefit gold. Li Jingyuan standing with a stick, her white hair is like a silver silk under the light, and her voice is low. Yi, the core area is the old site of the sect, and the layer of the sect is scattered. Your golden fingers can unblock the hidden layer, but it needs to be stable. I convey your ultimate interpretation of the method of reading, Tianjing, while silently reciting, keeping the blood of the family, and secrets appear. But remember that cultivating immortals is not a person who does it alone, it is the responsibility. Lizi's heart warmed. She used to just want to go against the scene by herself. Now, looking at these three people, a sense of responsibility surging her, not just for herself, but for the team, and for those fans who follow her. She patted Qingyu's shoulder and said, let's go. See the true seal in the old city. The entrance to the underground palace in the old town is hidden in the backyard of an inconspicuous antique shop. The sunset is slanted, the moss on the stone road is smooth, and the air is covered with Chen Nian's dust soil and hidden spirit and sweetness. Lizi pushed open the iron door and the team entered. As soon as the live broadcast was opened, the popularity rose like a rocket, reaching 4 million, and the screens flooded the screen. Core is so good. Come on Lizi. The side of Yunshu is very serene, saying it is the red circle of the Alliance 5 network. Lizi smiled and the mirror narrowed the map. Good evening, my parents. Today I will directly attack the family secret. This palace is the old site of the ancestors' ancestral gate. The rope left before the trace was hidden in the core eye. The golden finger is activated, watch the live broadcast to read it. The tunnel is narrow and deep, the wall is full of ancient runes, the sound of the footsteps is like drums, the air is urinating, and the moisture is lush with the underground spring water. Lizi is headed with her golden fingers, and the runes in her vision are like a spiral of the galaxy. She read in a low voice, look at this level, the blood seal. It locks the family inheritance, the ancestors are the old elders of the Tianfeng sect, and they swept the door overnight, leaving only the map. The secret is that the sect has the Tianfeng spirit source, which can revive blood and make the mortal foundation as simple as drinking water. The curtain exploded, family plot. It's so ignited. Lizi, come on, dig out the truth. Suddenly, the spirit ahead was violent, and the fog was like a tide. Lizi's heart was tightened and her golden fingers scanned, ambush. The side wall cracked, and 5 figures emerged. The head was Yun Shu. She joined forces with 4 well-known Immortal Cultivation websites, 2 men's spiritual dramas, 1 woman is good at fantasy, and the other is a talisman. Yun Shu smiled, and the background live broadcast was launched simultaneously, and the popularity was 500,000, Lizi, map for me. The black market boss Su no, I have 5 members of the alliance, and I will be on the middle stage of the chi. Which team is yours? A joke. Her allies came, and the sword light was like a net, with phantoms and talismans rose to the fire wall, blocking the retreat. Team, spread out. Lizi shouted, her leading force was as if she was out of the sheath. She slammed her fingers, and the black light of the evil shadow drama flashed, holding a memory of the drama. Qingyu rushed towards Yun Shu's spiritual ally. In the early stage of the kid's sword, he made a ruthless move, boy, pick it. Qingyu grinned, and the fire talisman was swaying, and the dagger was like a snake in the smoke, which hurt the other party's arms. Sister taught me, the weakness is on your shoulders. Come on. The 2 of them fought, Qingyu was agile, and the talisman exploded the fire dragon, forcing the other party to retreat. The live broadcast screen captured his sweaty heroic posture, and praised the curtain. Qingyu single chooses the MVP. From the dick to the god of war. Xiao Wei held her wings, threw out her siege props, and the blue shield was soaring, holding the smudge of the fantasy girl, Sister Lizi, safe behind. Li Jing's stick was placed on the ground, and the evil spirit backed off the talisman master. After I was shut up, my head was the core. Lizi pointed, and her heart was responsible. I can't let the team get into trouble. She rushed over the fire wall, guided by her golden fingers, and rushed towards the depths of the palace. But Yun Shu was cunning, and a poisonous, soul-eating pin shot from the dark, piercing the dantian. Lizi couldn't avoid it, and she slammed into her body, her spirit turned backwards, and the pain was like a heart suffering. She fell to the ground, her vision was blurred, and her inner panic broke out. It's over, what should the team do? In crisis, the dantian is hot and wafting. The spirit peach and the evil shadow drama blend together, and the golden fingers in the brain are like thunder and thunder, upgrade. Hidden map layer unblocked. She gritted her teeth and recited Li Jing's Tianyi vision. The family's blood was awakened like a river, the spirit was swept through the veins, and the realm was broken through, the early stage of the foundation. My whole body was as light as a swallow, the pain turned into a warm current, and my vision suddenly became clear. The core runes of the map are fully displayed, a hidden palace, and a translatorial treasure appears, Tianfeng Source Pearl. The bead crystal is like a star, emitting colorful spirit light. The live broadcast lens captures this moment. The global cultivator fan screamed, breakthrough. The upgrade of the golden finger god. Source bead. The rejuvenation artifact in the transmission. The popularity surged, exceeding 5 million, and the platform pushed the world, and the hot search dominated the screen. Lizi stood up, her eyes like a sword. Yun Shu, it's over. She held the source bead, and the pearl light poured into the evil shadow bead, and the sword body burst into colorful light. She swung the sword lightly and killed the ambush. The drama is as angry as a dragon, sweeping over Yunshu's allies, the fog of the fantasy girl shatters, and the fire wall of the talisman master collapses. Qingyu saw the machine and picked a fire talisman and exploded the opponent's spirit drama. The dagger stabbed straight into Jianjing. Sister, fill the knife. The ally cried and fell to the ground. The live broadcast of the battle screen changed to a double frequency. Yunshu's alliance collapsed, and her face turned pale. Impossible. How do you suck the cake? Lizi sneered, golden fingers are upgraded, and the source beads are blessed. Yun Shu, your lords are exposed in the live broadcast. Black market boss. Wait for me to come. The teams were combined, and Lizi led the tacit understanding. Xiao Wei sealed the wings, Li Jing was suppressed, and raised his wings. She pointed to Yun Shu, single choice. Or alliance? Men, vote. The curtain was like a tide, Lizi won. Yunshu rolled. Yunshu rolled, and the power in the middle of the Kiji period was like a tide, but Lizi was protected by the pearl, and the sword light flashed, which devoured her soul-devouring pin. Yunshu vomited blood and retreated, all his allies fell, and the live broadcast announced, Lizi's impulse and sexual strength was exerted. Yunshu channel collapsed, and the fans were gone. She knelt down and begged, "Don't. I'm wrong, I'll hand over all the information on the black market." Lizi shook her head and said, "It's a waste. The platform blocks you, the police are waiting." The team escorted her out of the way, and fans around the world shouted, and Lizi's live broadcast empire was at its peak. The core of the palace, Yuanzhu, Lizi's seat and the Tianyi vision are connected. Li Jing approached and taught the ultimate method. "Yun, this pearl is the treasure of the sect, which can connect blood. Silently recite, the true source, a corner of the family group is revealed." Lizi closed her eyes, and the image in her brain appeared. When she was young, she guarded the source bead. On the night of the door, the black market boss took someone to slaughter zone, just to swallow the source of spirit. Mom's eyes are hidden in the map, and she is rejuvenating the sky. Lizi's eyes were slight and the light flashed. "Old Li, it turns out, the family is not an accident, it's a sarcasm. I've accepted the ambition of Yuya." Qing Yu came to the water tank and grinned, "Sister, why are you crying? The team is here." Xiaowei patted her shoulders and said, "Yes, from personal show to big family, you lead us to keep in touch." Lizi wiped her cleansingly, and her heart turned like a break. Cultivating immortality from the past was a pleasure to reverse, but now it is a responsibility, to guard the team, revival the family, and to highlight the immortal path for fans. It is not just a devouring spirit treasure, but a shared growth. She stood up and held the Yuanzhu tightly. "Thank you everyone." Yunshu fell, but the black market boss is still there. Next, live broadcasts around the world, get rid of them. My God, the empire continues to expand. The live broadcast ended, and the night wind blew into the old city, and the spirit was as bright as a fog. Lizi looked at the team with a firm look. The road is still long, but now, she is no longer alone. Black market invitation. Come on, just open the final group. Lizi's temporary studio is now as popular as a small battle scene, with the bitter aroma of coffee, the buzz of electronic equipment and the refreshing taste of spiritual tea made by Xiaowei. Outside the window, the night lights in Shanghai are as bright as the sea of stars, and the neon lights in the high floor reflect in, making the monitors on the wall unstable. She leaned against the sand, playing with the Tianli source bead in her hand. The bead was as gentle as jade, emitting colorful spiritual light, and felt as warm as the palm of her mother. When I returned from the old city last night, everyone in the team was injured, but the vigor was still in the dantian. Yuanzhu's spirit makes her foundation stable, and the spirit of the city in the wild is as clear as the network. The confused days from the past seem like a dream. Sister, the data is here. Qingyu pushed the door in, holding the tablet in his hand, and the excited aura on his face looked like a child who had won the lottery. Last night's live broadcast replay point scored more than 10,000 yuan, and it was the world's top search. The ancient world circle was so popular that many casual cultivators wanted to add friends. On Yunshu's side, the channel was directly blocked, and the invitation post of the black market boss was also deleted, but she must be holding her big move. Lizi smiled and rubbed her son's hole. Xiaoyu, thank you. Let's take a day off first, and start a live broadcast tomorrow to share the experience of Yuanzhu's transformation. What's wrong with the family affairs? She turned to look at Li Jing. The old man was sitting in the corner with his legs in the corner, the jade beads on the stick glowed slightly, and the background was a newly clad family jade projection on the wall. Li Jing's eyes were slight and his voice was as deep as an old bell. Yun, the Yuanzhu is an extraordinary thing, it is the treasure of the Tianfeng sect. Your family was once the guardian of the ancient spirit resurrection, and the ancestors swore to protect the secret forces of the city to prevent the locusts in the black market from being trapped. Before the Yubei lost track, he would pay the map to your mother for this day. But the Yaimen Yuan was the leader of the Shadow Alliance, in the black market, an old monster on the stake peak. He has been eyeing the Yuanzhu for many years, and Yunshu is a pawn. Lizi's heart sank, and her old photo flashed through her brain. How much blood is hidden behind her kind smile? She held the source bead tightly, and her heart was filled with tide. She heard from a young age that, don't touch those old things, and she always thought it was superstition and escape from the shadow. What about now? As the responsibility came, she took a deep breath. Oldly, I'll take it. Qingyu, please help me check the lines of the Yingsha League, Xiaowei, studio upgrade. We have to build a permanent base. Xiaowei pointed her head and shook her hair. Sister, I received it. The platform sponsorship has arrived, and the entire building in Pudong has all the spiritual air skills. The resources of the monks in the world have also come in. At 8 o'clock the next night, Lizi's live broadcast was upgraded. The new studio is spacious and bright, with a simulated landscape behind the green screen. BGM is a guqin with electronic bass, and the wheel draws are constantly reversing. Play the experience of giving away the tear and transforming it. The popularity broke out, and the screen was like a rainstorm and pouring it out. Queen Lizi is back. Yuanzhu shares. Please give me a tutorial. Yunshu egg, Lizi is invincible. Lizi sat in front of the main lens, wearing a simple ancient-style shirt, with the source beads hanging between the neck, and the colorful light reflected on her face. She smiled, her voice was grounded and her air was pointed at the Shanghai accent. Good evening, my dear. The core victory last night, and all the team members were safe. Today I don't talk about the adventure, so I will share my experience of the spiritual treasure transformation. The Yuanzhu is the treasure of the Tianfeng sect. The monks of the Suji use it to make the spiritual energy circulate like a river. Come on, step demonstration. She sat down with her legs, gently tapped the source beads, and the golden fingers in her brain moved, and her spirit was pulled out of the beads like a wire, lying on her fingertips. The faint fragrance of grass and trees in the air was captured by the live broadcast screen. The first step is to focus on the dantian and silently recite the source and melt. I feel that the spirit is poured from the bead into the trunk, like drinking a cup of hot chocolate, warm. The second step is to turn the spirit breath and guide it to wipe the blood. Note that don't try before the foundation, it is easy to get out of fire. The third step is to concentrate and lock the weak point. For example, when I broke through last night, I used the source bead to replenish the dantian crack, and my combat power doubled. The screen was filled with crazy messages. It's so practical. I tried it, the dantian is hot. The cultivator of the world has reported it, and Mr. Li introduced it. Lizi is awesome. The popularity is raging, and the cultivator of the world has rushed in like a tide. A private message from a cultivator of the Lizi ID, the old monster of the mountain. Girl, my experience is exquisite, I will join the fans. I will give you 100 blocks of medium-grade spirit stones and change to the advanced version. Resources fly like snowflakes, spirit pills, talismans, and even a piece of land deeds in the world. The platform launches notice. Congratulations, Lizi Studio is officially established. The Pudong base is delivered, with built-in spiritual air method, and monthly rent sponsorship of 500,000. Qingyu operated on the backstage and said in a whisper, Sister, the fans have exceeded 8 million. The world circle recognizes you all, this is a phenomenon level. Lizi smiled and replied, Thank you everyone. Cultivating immortals is not just a single person, but a sharing. Whoever has any questions about sacrificing the curtain, I will answer on the spot. A young casual cultivator cut into the voice, Anchor, I practice in the later stages of the spirit pearl, how can the source bead behave like a spirit treasure? Lizi patiently explained, the basic version is replaced by a spirit pendant, the steps are the same, but the time is long. Try taking a deep breath and feel the spirit flowing. The other party was amazed, it's done. Thank the anchor. Live teaching is in full swing, and Lizi felt that she had changed from a network to a supervisor, and her achievements in her heart. This is not just traffic, but a torch that shines on others' path. At the climax, the hot search suddenly exploded, #Lizi's fake treasure game #. The screen was filled with black material. Yunshu revealed that Lizi Yuanzhu is a prop, written by the family story. Lizi's eyebrows were snaking and clicked on the link, Yunshu's anonymous video, with a poisonous lingering. Lizi connects to the black market, Yuanzhu is fake. Her family is a criminal, and she suffers the consequences. I have evidence, the police will investigate it quickly. The video attached a vague old file, implying that Lizi's ancestors were cemeteries. The popularity of the live broadcast dropped slightly, and Kuriko rushed in, train Z robbery. Yunshu said right? Lizi sneered, and her heart was filled with anger. Is this woman not giving up? She was panicked now. After the team was around, she took a deep breath. Don't be anxious. Yunshu wants to frame me. Come, prove the conversation. She switched the screen and projected the Jade scan, last night's Jade scan, the door record of the Black Market Shadow League, Yunshu's communication IP connected directly to the leader. With a swipe of gold fingers, the video watermark reveals the bag, the editing mark of assistant Yunshu. Look at this, Yunshu dispersed fake news and ticked the black market to sell fake treasures. Her videos were PS, and the family file was a dirty version she bought from the black market. Platform, the official Immortal Cultivation Association, come and verify it. Qingyu operated quickly and sent a private message to the association leader. The Lizi team asked for help, and the entire file is confirmed. Xiaowei added a projection of the air method to prove that the true spirit of Mingguanzu is fluctuating. 10 minutes later, the association's official video access appeared, and an official who was like a middle-aged monk appeared, with the background of the fierce Lingyan Hall. Miss Lizi, check it, your certificate is like a mountain. Yunshu hooks and shadows, and you should sell fake news, and the association will be immediately connected. Your live broadcast phenomenon and positive energy are specially awarded the title of Urban Immortal Promotion Ambassador. The resource is slanted, and the source beads are transformed into the association's textbooks. The live broadcast turned around and the screen went crazy. Lizi won. You will carry a book cow. Yunshu finished, framed the car. Yunshu's video was deleted. She hid in the hiding place beside the black market, staring at her phone with a trembling atmosphere. Don't die. The boss of the shadow, Lizi, will hold her waist, and the plan changed, spread the old news that her family is a traitor, and it will be blocked by more networks. But the discussion turned to Lizi, with more fans exceeding tens of thousands, and the studio's resources increased sharply. The association will send 10 pieces of charcoal pills, which will be opened in the world. The live broadcast ended and the team sat in the circle. Li Jing knocked on the stick. Girl, I will think it's a double-bladed sword. The Shadow League is staring. Qingyu, where are the cables you checked? Qingyu pushed the tablet. Sister, look. The Black Market Internal Archive. I blacked into the assistant network. The shadow leader called Sha Wu, and the peak of the ridge was killed. The door killed you that night, and it was wiped out. The secret library of the sect. But the source pearl has a blood block, which only recognizes the descendants of the Tianzi, the map of your mother Tibet, to prevent this. The line points to the final trace, the source of heaven, at the bottom of the Huangpu River, hiding the magic of rejuvenation. But Yunshu planned to be even bigger. She joined forces with 10 networks and prepared to set up a killing situation outside the source. Lizi stared at the corner, and the illusion of the night appeared in her brain. She fell in a pool of blood, and ordered, guard the source and revive the blood. The shadow from the young age was like a shackle, making her timid and evaded the family shackle. Now, holding the source bead tightly, she felt the chains break, and her heart was twisting like a broken one. I am no longer a victim, I am the inheritor. As she was afraid that she would turn into a siege, she stood up and said, Old Li, thank you for revealing the truth. Xiaoyu and Xiaowei, are you ready to explore the final adventure? Yunshu's killing. Let her come. We will snatch the waist and the team is in a hurry. I want to take the Shadow Sha alliance with my hands and take revenge for it. Qingyu slapped the table. Sister, I'll talk to you. Investigate the search, I'll continue to dig. Xiaowei pointed, the upgrade of the military method, what's the killing? Li Jing smiled and said, what a big deal, I'm growing up. The source is imminent, but the evil spirits are taking action. The peak of the sacred peak is not a disaster. One night of rest and we'll be set off tomorrow. The studio lights are dim, Lizi sits alone by the window, and the pearlescent light reflects the river. She touched the bead and said in a whisper, yeah, I'm here. Far, the shadow of the black market gathered like clouds. Yunshu's phone rang out. Boss, Lizi is moving. The killing game is in place. The other party's voice was cold. Okay, I got the source bead, I'll fill her door. The conflict was like a storm, and Lizi's eyes were definitely like a sword. In Lizi's Pudong studio, the lights are softly on the upgraded live broadcast stage, and the air is filled with Xiaowei's newly tuned spiritual tea fragrance, and the faint smell of osmanthus makes people calm. Outside the window, the night on the Huangpu River was as dark as ink, and the sound of the river water slamming the bank came, as if urging her to move forward. The source bead was hanging between the neck, and the warm touch made her dantian feel slightly warm. Last night, Li Jing's analysis was still in his ears. The source of the sky is hidden at the bottom of the river, and the key to the family's rejuvenation is there. But the shadow of the Shadow League was covered with shadows like a fog. She rubbed her eyebrows and turned to the team. My daughters, I'm resting. Tonight, heading straight to the Yuanquan Hang. Qingyu, the head of the statue is in place. Xiaowei, the props of the sect are loaded. Mr. Li, are you protecting the sect? Li Jing clicked his head, and a blue light appeared on the jade bead on the head of the stick. He sat on the corner of the puppet, with the background of the spirit projection on the wall. I don't want to leave, I will be in danger of being in close proximity. But the video link and the prompts when contacting. My head, remember that there is a continuous killing in the source of the sky, and the bloody hair thinks the owner is the key. The golden fingers are all opened, and I keep calm. Lizi nodded, and a warm feeling surged in her heart. From a person to explore this team, she is no longer the timid cock. Qingyu carried GoPro, his eyes were filled with fire. He approached Lizi and said in a low voice, Sister, I'm at the forefront for this trip. From the fan of the screen to today, I, Qingyu, spared my life to accompany you. Let's bear the grudges of the family together. His voice was covered with sand, and the slightest touch in his eyes was as gentle as a river, which made Lizi's heart soft. She patted his shoulder and smiled. Xiaoyu, thank you. I feel at ease with you, the Iron Brother. Let's go. Xiaowei shook her short hair and said with a tool kit, Sister, the shield upgrade can kill you. The team is coming out. The 4 fishes came out, and the night wind on the river was wet and swollen, scattering the low birds surrounding the whistle of the ship. Lizi opened the live broadcast and extended the lens. The popularity exceeded 10,000 at a glance. The curtain rushed like a tide. Finally, it's so great. Queen Lizi is impulsive. Shadows, be careful, the dark sun is wafting. They walked down the river and came to a secret code. The entrance to the source was hidden in the crack at the bottom of the river, an ancient stone tablet. The surrounding spirit rotated like a whirlpool, and the air was filled with the bloody smell of water vapor and iron lenses. My dear, the bottom of the Huangpu River, the source of the sky. Lizi opened the map, scanned the golden fingers like thunder, and the rune spirals in the field clearly appeared. She pointed the stone tablet lightly, the blue light flashed, the cracks opened, and the water curtain rose like a crest. In. The team dived into the river, and the river was shaking, wrapping the whole body like ice rays, like a waterproof lens that captured the light and shadow of the blue. There is a large cave inside, with the walls covered with shining moss and stomping in the sound of water droplets. The air is hot and damp, with a bit of ancient earth fragrance. The deep layer passage is narrow, and the killing of the ring has been opened. The first level is Blood Evil Round, the ground is cracked and the blood blade is like a forest. The second level is Shadow Ghost Scene, the wall sieves produce cold ghost shadows. the third level is shunting sword, the spirit is whipped backflow like a whip. Lizi's heart was tightened, and the phantom appeared in her brain, and that kind face was filled with blood. She took a deep breath and passed away in her heart. Grudges are like undercurrents at the bottom of the river, and she can't escape again. The golden fingers were fully opened, the source bead was injected with spirit, and the vision suddenly became clear. The eyes were locked, the first weakness was in the heart. Qingyu, left flash. Xiaowei, the shield is opened. Lizi shouted, her hand was like a slicing, and the black light of the shaking shadow slicing exploded, towards the blood evil will core. The sword was as angry as a dragon, the blood blades shattered, the ground was shaking, and the fishy wind swayed. Before Qingyu slammed, the fire talisman scattered and exploded a wave of blade rain. Sister, it's clear behind. Xiaowei's blue shield was soaring, slamming the ghost on the side, and the vines rose from the ground to stumble on the spirit. Still, the second level is coming. The live broadcast screen was shaking and exciting, and the screen was crazy. Golden finger magic operation. Cracking the ring of the ring. Lizi is so explosive, will the realm rise? Li Jing's video was heard, and his voice was as steady as a rock. Good, the third level of death is cut off, and the blood is the key. Silently recite the heavenly purpose 1, the source bead attracts the air. Lizi clicked his head, held the source bead tightly, and silently recited the mind method. The pearlescent light is flourishing, and the colorful light is injected into the veins, and the blood of the family wakes up like a river. The spirit reversed the current and turned into a warm current to wipe the dantian. The third eye shattered, and a golden light flashed. The family inherited jade rose, the crystals were like jade, scattering ancient spirits. Lizi reached out and grabbed it, and the jade simplified into her body, and the information stormed into the brain like a tide, the complete interpretation of the secret method of the Tianfu sect, and the ambition of rejuvenating the blood and protecting the urban spirit. It's done. My dear, this is the family jade simplicity. Lizi shouted happily. The jade simplicity blended with the source beads, the dantian was hot and waved, and the realm was like a rocket rising, the middle stage of the foundation, the peak. The whole body is as light as a swallow, the spirit in the field is like a network controllable, and the combat power is doubled. The live broadcast captured this moment, and the fans were crazy, e.g. foam. Lizi is invincible. The jade artifact, the family inheritance is burning. The popularity surged, exceeding 1.5 million, and the gifts were like rain. The association boss blasted the curtain. Lizi, the future generations of Tianzi have certified it. All resources are open. But the climax was not over, the passage ahead collapsed, and Yunshu led the team to attack. She joined forces with 5 online red cultivators. In the early stages of the foundation, the sword light talisman appeared and smiled for the head cloud. The background of her temporary live broadcast was launched. The popularity was so popular. Lizi, the source is mine. Shadow, boss Suno, kill you full of doors. Her allies came, the fantasy was filled with fog, the fire was like a network blocking the road, and the fishy wind and blood were blowing in the air. Yunshu, are you still here? Lizi sneered, the spiritual pressure of the primordial peak exploded, the source beads protected, the evil shadow slammed, and the storm was as angry as the tide and opened the mist. Team, scatter the counterattack. Qingyu's eyes sank, and he swung to Yunshu's spiritual ally. The boy's drama was ruthless, boy, seeking death. Qingyu grinned, and the upgraded version of the fire talisman was thrown out. The fire dragon drama said, sister, protect you. This time, I won't let you carry it alone. His figure was like a wind, and the dagger overcame the other party's arms, blood was rising. The live broadcast screen captured his back in front of Lizi, and the screen was swept, Qingyu's loyal dog. Emotional line. Sweet. Lizi's heart warmed, and Qingyu's loyalty was like a warm current at the bottom of the river, making her no longer alone. She lifted up, her golden finger locked Yunshu's weakness, Dantian was insulted, Xiaoyu, hit the right wing. Yunshu, it's over. The two of them cooperated tacitly, Qingyu's fire talisman exploded the shape of his allies, and Lizi's sword light pierced Yunshu. Yunshu's face turned pale, and the mid-stage spiritual force of the base was reversed, but Lizi was pressed down, and the colorful light of the source beads was tightened. Your traits are exposed live. Black market chess pieces, roll. A backlash, Yunshu vomited blood and retreated, his allies fell to the ground, and the talisman collapsed. Li Jinghu's video prompts, girl, seal her way out. I'm going to take the evil spirits from afar. The light of the stick shot into the passage, and the evil spirits turned back, blocking Yunshu's escape. Live broadcast, the double change. Yunshu's picture was so terrible, her hair was scattered, her clothes were stained with blood, and her fans fell like an avalanche. Yunshu was finished. She had a face orgasm. The Lizi team is invincible, the internet queen is born. Yunshu knelt down, his voice trembling, don't. I'm wrong, I'll say all the stories of the Shadow League. There is a trap in the deep source. Lizi said coldly, it's a waste. Qingyu, I've beat her, have a relationship. Qingyu clicked his head and stepped forward to block her thigh. The gentle touch in his eyes turned to Lizi, sister, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Lizi panted and leaned against the wall, while Jade's simplicity was still walking around. She looked at Qingyu, and her heart turned like a river to clarify. From the past, the grudges of the family were like shackles, making her afraid to move forward and always want to bear them alone. But now, she felt that her heart had resolved her heart, her ambition was not revenge, but protection. The interaction of the team made her become a leader. She is no longer a personal hero, but the queen who leads everyone forward. She smiled and patted Qingyu's hand, Xiaoyu, thank you. Only with you can I stand firm. My dear, this is the proof of growth, the road to cultivation, sharing. Xiaowei unbuttoned her shield, and the curtain continued to rush. The emotional line appears. Qingyu confesses her love. Li Jing smiled, you are mature. The source core is in front, but the evil is not at all. Let's rest and rest. The team escorted Yunshu to retreat from the bottom of the river. The night wind blows away the blood, and the moonlight on the river is like silver. Lizi closed the live broadcast and felt confident. The grudges were over, and the empire continued to expand. Shadow Shah Alliance, wait for me to settle. In Lizi's Pudong studio, the lights are softly waving on the spacious live broadcast stage. The air is still filled with the damp water vapor coming back from the bottom of the river, and the fragrance of Xiaowei's newly cooked spirit tea and osmanthus flowers makes people feel as if they just woke up from a dream. The river wind blows in from the semi-open floor-to-ceiling windows, bringing the moisture from the Huangpu River, and the neon lights on the high floor outside the window are as flashing as the galaxy. She leaned against the sand, holding the family jade in her hand. The surface of the crystal reflects her face, and the ancient spirit flows. I just escorted Yunshu to the association branch and heard that she would be locked in the spiritual forbidden room and would not be able to make any mistakes in the short term. But Lizi knew that this woman would not be so restless. The shadow of the Shadow Evil Alliance is still there, and the secret from the deep source is waiting for her to dig. Sister, is the jade reading briefly? I have adjusted the head of the image, and the global live broadcast is being preheated. Qingyu walked over, holding 2 cups of hot chocolate, with the light of expectation in his eyes. His t-shirt was still stained with mud dots at the bottom of the river, and he smiled like a big boy. Last night, the popularity exceeded 1,500,000. After the association memorized the book, international platforms were all connected. Those who practice immortals in Europe and the United States, the screen will be filled with your inheritance and sharing. Lizi smiled and took the cup. The warm touch made the spirit of her dantian slightly move. Xiaoyu, thank you. Don't rush to live broadcast, I have to read it calmly. This jade sketch is Yuling's ambition, and it must be the key to the Shadow Evil Alliance. She sat down with her legs, closed her eyes and moved the sky to understand the mind. The source bead is hanging between the veins, the colorful light blends with the jade, and the images appear in the brain like a tide. The peak of the Tianfeng sect, the ancestors guard the urban spirit source and establish the full image method. This is the ultimate secret, which can connect personal blood with the global spirit network, allowing immortals to share the power of recovery. On the night of the gate, Yu sealed the jade's simplicity with his life, just to keep it for future generations to rejuvenate. But the leader of the Shadow Alliance is invincible. He uses this magic gate to swallow the source of spirit alone and destroy the urban balance. Oh my god. Lizi's eyes were slight and her voice shook slightly. The jade is bright and vigorous, and she feels that the veins are as broad as rivers, and the spiritual pressure of the veins is as stable as a mountain. It's a perfect match. This is the family's final secret, which can turn live broadcasts into a global immortal bridge. Parents, this is not just a personal breakthrough, but a key to leading the era. The inner self is as white as the wind blows away the fog. I just wanted to reverse the roar into the internet. What about now? This responsibility is as vast as the river, and I have to be a good leader. Li Jinggu stood up from the Pooh group, with a jade bead on his head and a jade pendant. He squinted his eyes and looked at Lizi. Good, it's good. The blood is pure and upright. You are the inheritor of the Tianfeng sect. I have witnessed you and are now sending your sect seal. With a glance at his finger, a blue light shot into Lizi's eyebrows, and the spiritual seal opened like a flower. She felt her whole body was light and the urban spirit in her vision was controllable. Old Li, thank you. This seal makes me feel like I'm by my side. Li Jing smiled and said, the road to cultivation is endless. Go and share it live, let the world see it. At 8 o'clock in the evening, the global synchronous live broadcast will be launched. Lizi's studio lens is full, BGM is a guqin with international electronic rhythm, and the wheel draws the prize. Get the experience of the draw. The popularity rises like a rocket, from thousands to tens of thousands, and international fans are pouring in, the American urban white-haired man, France's infamous cultivator, and Japan's spirit lover. The screen is mixed with many words. Lily shows us this way. Queen Lizi, the way to cultivate immortals. Lizi sat in front of the lens, the jade projection rotated in the air, and the source pearl light reflected the face. She smiled, and her voice was grounded and pointed to Shanghai flavor. Good evening for all, my friends around the world. Last night, the great victory in the river's source spring. Today I share the family inheritance, the fusion of thousands of images. This is not a small Dharma door, but the key to the integration of immortal cultivation and modernity. Come, step demonstration. Her hand was light and the blue light was drawn out like a wire, slitting the air in the live broadcast. The audience felt a warm current pouring out from the screen, as refreshing as if drinking a cup of hot chocolate. The first step is to keep your blood and silently recite the enjoy all images. The spirit is drawn from the source bead and connects the personal veins. The second step is to spread the network, the secret spirit in the city, like the source at the bottom of the Huangpu River, which can be shared. The third step is to live fusion. Do fans feel after taking a deep breath? The spirit is like the river water, flowing to the world. The picture cuts to the real-time data, and international fans upload videos. On the New York highway, someone is in the palm of his hand. On the Sena River in Paris, the casual cultivator board sits and the spirit is flashing. The live streaming room exploded. Bullet comments like a storm, it's done. I felt the spiritual flow in Tokyo. Lizi, this is a revolution. Immortal cultivation globalization. Association bigwigs brushed gifts, official certification, Lizi ambassador, resources fully open. Platform valuation popped up a notification, Lizi's live streaming empire, single-day income broke 100 million, equivalent to thousands of global spirit stones. Sponsorships like Tides, Silicon Valley Spirit Tech Company through $1 million contract, wanting to cooperate on developing the Pulse Fusion app. European hidden societies sent Earth vein maps, seeking alliance. Lizi looked at the back-end data, her heart swelling. From a loser in a rental house to this empire, this is my path. Immortal cultivation shouldn't be hidden, it must be live streamed out, letting everyone fly together. Qingyu operated in the back end, excitedly whispering, "Sis, international fans broke 5 million. This is a storm, global immortal cultivation fever." Xiao Wei added a shield projection to prevent hacker invasions. "Stay steady," Yunshu's side is eerily quiet. Lizi nodded, just getting into it, when her phone suddenly vibrated. An association emergency private message popped up. "Lizi, Yunshu has escaped from prison. She stole the forbidden technique talisman from Shadow Evil Alliance, going all in, heading straight for your studio. Be careful, it's a Foundation establishment peak-level killing array." Before the words finished, a roar came from outside the studio, the walls trembling. Lizi's heart tightened, her golden fingers scanned. Yunshu is here. She teamed up with 2 Shadow Evil Alliance rogue cultivators. At Foundation establishment late stage, the talisman array like black fog spreading, the air filled with a foul wind, mixed with the rusty smell of blood. Global friends, emergency broadcast. Yunshu's final counterattack, team battle live stream. Lizi shouted, the camera switched to outdoor scene. Qingyu shouldered the GoPro and rushed forward. "Sis, I'll open the way. Fire talisman ready." The door exploded open. Yunshu burst in, her face pale but eyes maniacal, holding a black talisman in her hand, emitting a cold and evil aura. "Lizi, you destroyed my empire. The Shadow Evil boss gave me the soul-devouring extinction array. Today we'll perish together." She flung her hand, black fog surged like a tide, turning into countless soul claws, straight pouncing on Lizi's dantian. The 2 rogue cultivators followed up, sword lights and talisman arrays attacking together, sealing the retreat. The studio lights flickered, the fragrance of spirit tea replaced by blood stench, the sound of shattering glass echoing. "Want to play dirty?" Lizi sneered, her Foundation establishment peak spiritual pressure erupted, the source pearl's 7-colored light protecting her body. She silently recited pulse fusion myriad forms, the jade slip spiritual light injecting into her meridians, the inheritance power like a rushing river, bloodline network spreading, global fans' spiritual energy thoughts gathering, turning into a blue light net to counterattack the black fog. "Friends, help me. Take a deep breath. Transmit spiritual energy." The live stream bullet comments went crazy. "It's here. I feel Lizi's call." International spiritual flow surged in, the studio's blue light greatly flourished, the soul claws shattered, Yunshu's face turned deathly pale. "Impossible, global sharing?" Qingyu pounced forward, assisting like iron. "Sis, seal the left wing." He flung fire talismans continuously, blasting open 1 rogue cultivator's sword array, his dagger slashing across the opponent's meridians, sealing their spiritual power. "This time, I won't let you bear it alone. Team as one." Xiao Wei drew an array, a blue shield rising to block the other rogue cultivator's talisman fire. "Lizi sis, the core flaw is in the talisman core." Li Jing video called and shouted, "Girl, use the inheritance sword intent. This old man will suppress the evil." Lizi leaped up, injecting the jade slip's power into the shadow sword, the black light turning 7-colored, like a dragon's sword chi sweeping out, straight piercing Yunshu's black talisman. The inheritance power reversed the battle, the black fog collapsed, the soul-devouring extinction array backfiring on its owner. Yunshu screamed in agony, her meridians reversing, spitting blood and kneeling. "No. I was just a pawn, it's Sha Wuji who." Lizi pointed her sword at her forehead, coldly saying, "It's over. Global friends, have you seen clearly? The conspiracy exposed." Qingyu stepped forward, using talisman paper to seal Yunshu's dantian, the 2 rogue cultivators trapped by Xiao Wei's array, unable to move. The live stream froze on this moment, popularity breaking 30 million, dominating global hot searches. Lizi reverses. Yunshu completely defeated. The association immediately intervened, officials video connected. "Lizi, well done. Yunshu colluded with Shadow Evil Alliance, evidence conclusive, permanently sealed from the immortal path, imprisoned in the spirit ban for 100 years. Your empire, the association will fully protect." Yunshu was taken away, her eyes full of despair, the live stream slap in the face delightfully satisfying, international fans cheering, Queen Lily victory. Immortal Cultivation Justice. The battle ended, the studio in ruins but filled with the warmth of victory. Lizi sheathed her sword, panting and leaning on Qingyu's shoulder, he lightly patted her back. Sis, it's stable. With the inheritance, you are the leader. She nodded, her inner thoughts turning like clarifying river water, from a counterattacking loser to now the queen. This path walked, immortal cultivation and live streaming fused into one, not personal thrill, but shared great Tao. Grandpa's legacy, I have fulfilled. The global spirit net is initially appearing, Shadow Evil Alliance's Sha Wuji, you're next. Li Jing in the video call nodded, girl, orthodox inheritance, sect revival in sight. But the final conflict is near, at the source depths, Sha Wuji will come personally. Rest, prepare for the reckoning. Lizi looked out the window at the river surface, moonlight like silver, her heart firm. Come on, this empire, I can guard it. In Lizi's Pudong studio, the broken walls were still slightly shaking, and the glass fragments reflected the moonlight on the river outside the window, like scattered stars. She took a deep breath, and the colorful rest of the source bead was still walking around her fingertips, and the spiritual pressure of the dantian was as stable as a mountain. Yunshu's cry seemed to be still rumbling around his ears, but Lizi knew that this was just a prelude. The Shadow Evil of Shadow Evil League is the old monster of the Jingji Peak, hidden deep in the source, waiting for her to settle it. The bloody smell in the air filled the fragrance of osmanthus flowers of the spirit tea, making her brain sober like a river water washing. The team is resting. The source is deep, and the main room is waiting for us. Qingyu, on the head of the image, this live broadcast will allow global evidence to be cleared. Qingyu clicked his head and carried GoPro. The iron blood in his eyes was burning like fire. Sister, don't worry. From the fan of the screen to today, I, Qingyu, swear to protect you to the death. I'm so frightened. Let him come. Xiaowei shook her short hair, and the props in the tool kit dinged. The shield is full, kill me. Sister Lizi, go. Li Jing stood up with a cane, and her white hair was silvered under the light. I'm going with you. This is the battle for revival of the sect. My head, calm your mind, and the golden finger will lead the way. The four of them squids came out of the door, and the night wind blew from the Huangpu River, and the damp breath squids and scattered the low birds on the far-off ship. Lizi opened the live broadcast and extended lens, and her popularity exceeded 25 million with one swipe. The curtain was like a global tide, the final battle. Queen Lizi is impulsive. Be careful, live broadcast face. They dived along the river and returned to the entrance of the source. The ancient stone tablet shone in the dark blue under the moonlight, and the spirit whirlwinds like a huge mouth. Lizi's fingers lightly, the cracks opened again, the water curtain rose, and the team dived into the bottom of the river. The cave inside is deeper, the shining moss on the wall is like a flash of ghost fire, the sound of water droplets is like a heartbeat, the air is hot and damp, and the smell of iron lenses is implicated and the nose is swayed. The deep-level passage is like a maze, and the main abyss has finally been opened. A large spiritual beast guards the soul of the source, shaped like a giant python, black and red woven, eyes are red and gold like lights, and the roar makes the river shake. The evil spirit stood beside the eyes, the white robe was stained with blood, the spiritual pressure of the pine peak came like a mountain, the air twisted into the evil spirit, and the scraping made Lizi's face hurt. Little girl, come. The source of the sky is my husband's. Yunshu's waste is useless, I will use it automatically. The map and the source beads are handed over. He smiled, and the black sword in his hand swept, and the evil spirits came like a tide, turning into thousands of black beads, stinging the team's dantian. My dear, the climax is coming. Finally, the spirit of the source. Lizi shouted loudly, her heart was as dangerous as undercurrents at the bottom of the river. She took a deep breath and fainted in her heart, from the confusion of the rental house to the old monster now facing her, this is my battleground. The golden fingers are ignited, and the main force in the field appears like a spider net. The weakness is 7 inches of the spirit beast, and the evil sword is connected to the eyes. Team, scatter. Qingyu, encouraging the left wing. Xiaowei, protect the shield. Mr. Li, suppress the evil. The evil shadow drama was out of the sheath, and the black light turned colorful. She slammed a sword towards the black slab. The sword was as angry as the dragon's shattered rain, and the blue light burst out, forcing the evil wildly to retreat half a step back. Before Qingyu snatched, the fire talisman was swung, and the dragon rushed towards the spirit beast's tail. Sister, I'll hold this beast. The spirit beast roared, its tail whipped like a whip, and the fishy wind swayed. Qingyu flipped over and avoided it. The dagger was striking, and the blood rose. The weak point is locked, sister. Xiaowei was painting the gaze, and the blue shield was strong, holding the evil side and slamming the evil beast's body, and the vines rose from the ground to slam the soul body. Sister Lizi, your eyes are exposed. Li Jing's stick was placed on the ground, and the blue light shot out to suppress the evil atmosphere. Good, use the blood key. Silently recite source of the Yuan Rongyi. Lizi clicks her head, holds the source beads and jade pendants tightly, and recites the mind method silently. The family's blood was awakened like a river, and the spirit of fans around the world gathered together. The live broadcast screen was crazy. Help Lizi. Take a deep breath to convey the spirit. The spirit was like a tide and poured out from the screen and injected into her vagina. The dantian is hot and waving, and the golden fingers are precisely guided. The horn of the Pine Peak bottle is broken, and the spirit explodes like a volcano sprays. She shouted, break. The blue and golden light of her body flourished, and her veins expanded, and her realm rose, the golden elixir stage. The dantian condenses into a golden elixir, round like a pearl, spirit pressing like a sea, cave shaking, river water flows backward. Live view captures this miracle. Lizi's body is golden light surging into the sky, the source of spirit is like a fog bursting, reflecting the entire river bottom. The golden elixir is here. My dear, see the miracle. Lizi's slim eyes sounded the mirror, and the sword light was swept, and the power of the golden elixir was injected into the evil shadow elixir, and the colorful light was like a dragon rolling, piercing the spirit beast 7 inches. The roar of the beast shook the sky, the pieces shattered, the black blood was like a spring, and the eyes collapsed. The global hot news exploded, and the hot searches dominated the screen. Lizi Jindan live broadcast. The miracle of immortal cultivation. From the dick to the queen of Jindan, I'm encouraging my will. The popularity exceeded 40,000, and the International Association gave a gift. Congratulations. The Global Spirit Network is open, the era of Lizi. The evil face was so white, and the primordial peak was like a piercing in front of the golden elixir. I can't. I have been practicing Taoism for 100 years. His black drama revolted, and his evil spirit was like a net cover, but Lizi's golden elixir was crushed and pressed. A sword retaliated, and the breath pierced his shoulders and the blood fog exploded. He knelt down, looking at him with a look of his eyes. Heart's secret library, I say. The spirit treasure of the Tianfu sect, the Wanxiang source cauldron, hidden deep in the depths, can transform the global spirit. Lizi sneered, her hands changed, her golden fingers scanned the main sanctuary, and the blue light poured into the tripod to float, the ancient green copper cauldron. The runes of the tripod rotated, and the dispersion of no spirit. She reached out and grabbed it, and the tripod was as warm as jade, and the spirit was as injected with golden elixir as rivers, and the war was rising again. Spiritual get. My God, the main body is broken. The live broadcast shouted, and the curtain was like rain. It's so cool. Lizi is invincible. But the crisis was not over, and the side wall cracked. Yunshu's party sent out 5 casual cultivators, holding a black market talisman, smiling at the blonde man. Sister Yunshu finally pays, kill Lizi, and pulls the tripod. They rolled in, and the talisman fire rays shone out, and the fishy wind and bloody nose were blown away, trying to interfere with the cleaning scene. Looking for death. Qingyu shouted, and a single gun was thrust on the horse. The fire talisman was like a rain trunk. The fire dragon snatched the three of them. Sister, protect the cauldron. I will suck them all. His body was like a wind, and the dagger was plodding across the throat of a scattered cultivator, and the blood was flashing. The talisman exploded into another person's dantian, Yinshu's dog legs. Are you looking at us from the outside? Today, it's all buried at the bottom of the river. The blonde man came. The spirit sword was cruel, boy, single pick. Qingyu grinned, flipped away, and a fire talisman exploded into the other party's arms. Sister's weakness attack. Go to death. The dagger pierced his heart, bloody flowers, and fell to the ground with a silence. The five of them were all killed. Qingyu stood still with breath, his body was covered in blood, and his eyes were fixed. Sister, it's clean. The team is not hurt. Lizi's heart warmed, and Qingyu's loyalty was like a warm current at the bottom of the river, which made her move. She turned to the lens and opened the jade simplified projection. My dear, take advantage of the heat to destroy the iron. Family history will be open today. Tianfeng sect is not a traitor, but a guardian. In ancient times, the ancestors vowed to protect the urban spirit source and prevent locusts in the black market. On the night of the gate, the evil spirit was gone, but the slaughter of the sect was not the most important thing, but the sacrificial source. Yutai sealed the jade simplified with his life and left it to me for resurrection. Have you seen those blacksies who doubt my dish sex story? The live broadcast is full, wash away the stigma. The curtain turns back, Lizi is wronged. Support the queen. The former blacksie closed her mouth and slapped her face happily. The video of the association official, Lizi, the right thing is clear. The family archive is open, and the Shadow Alliance is connected to the world. Sha Wubi was sealed by Qingyu's talisman and escorted to the meeting. Li Jing approached, and the blue beam on his rod and Lizi's golden elixir shared the golden elixir. He praised him, girl, from now on, I have officially accepted you as a disciple. The essence of the immortal path is not utilitarian, but guarding and sharing. It integrates all images and conveys you the ultimate. The source path is unlucky, silently recites the mind and blends the world, and the spiritual network will last forever. The blue beam enters the body, Lizi feels that the elixir is as broad as the universe, and the golden elixir turns even more smoothly. She knelt down and said, Master, thank you for your teachings. Disciples must keep their will. The team withdrew from the source, and under the moonlight on the river, the spirit and fog spread like a gaze. When he returned to the studio, the lights lighted up, Xiaowei came to the hot soup, Qingyu wiped the dagger, and Li Jingzhang sat down and adjusted his breath. Lizi held a cup and said warmly, My dear, celebrate. Qingyu, your help is like an iron shield, Xiaowei, your way of being as stable as a mountain, Master, guidance is like a light. From the lonely house in the rental house to the Jindan Empire today, thank you for letting me find my own value. Cultivating immortality is not just a matter of doing alone, but everyone flying together. Qingyu grinned, Sister, with your leader, we will shine. Xiaowei patted her shoulders, the team is forever. Li Jing pointed, a disciple, you have grown up. The ending is in sight, and the global spirit network has been opened. Lizi looked out the window at the river, and her heart felt as clear as a mirror. The value has come true, from the dick to the legend. After walking this road, there are more spirits waiting to be opened. Far away, the communication of the association is like a wind, and the remaining Shadow Alliance will soon come to knock on the door. In Lizi's Pudong studio, sunlight comes in from the floor-to-ceiling windows, reflecting the newly repaired wall. The air is filled with the fragrance of the elixir made by Xiaowei, and the faint smell of herbs makes people feel energetic. Outside the window, the water in the Huangpu River is rippling, and the high-rise buildings are lined with spiritual lines. It is like her current vision, the perception of the Golden Pill stage, making the urban tide as clear as the traces in her palm. After the first battle of Yuanquan last night, the association's communication was like a storm and swept into the circle of immortal cultivation. The Shadow League's scattered party fled in all directions, and Yunshu's party also surfaced. But Lizi didn't give them a chance to breathe. She took a deep breath and turned to the team. We have integrated resources, starting today. The Wangxianjuan Ding is a spiritual treasure of the Fengfeng. We use it to build a personal cave, not only the residence, but also the live broadcast base, and open it for fans to visit. Qingyu, you check the traces of Yunshu party. Xiaowei, the arrangement of the methods of the art. Master, you have to fully control the map when you pass on the last secret method. Qingyu clicked on the head. The black market line was already displayed on the tablet, and his fingers quickly hit it. Sister, receive it. Although Yunshu's woman was blocked, her remaining party was hidden in the edge of the black market in the old city. 5 red casual cultivators who practiced the Chifen Peaks were spreading fake news to attract people. I will contact the association to win the team, follow the live broadcast throughout, conduct a formal judgment, and settle the final settlement. Xiaowei shook her short hair, and the tool kit the spirit stone ding ding. I come to the cave house, and the blessing of the source cauldron can prevent the golden elixir from being hit. Sister Lizi, open to visit? Exciting. Li Jing stood with a stick, with white hair and silver light flashing, and his voice was as low as an old clock. A disciple, the last secret method, map soul. It makes the golden fingers permanent and the family full of freedom open. But you need to unite your mind and turn back to the road to rise to understand the distance. Lizi nodded and her heart was filled with warmth. From the pastry days of renting houses to the current Golden Dan Queen, walking here is like a live marathon. She sat down with her legs, holding the elephant source cauldron. The green copper cauldron was as warm as jade, and the runes were swirling like rivers. Master, please pass it. Li Jing's fingers were slight, and a golden light shot into her eyebrows. The secret technique poured into the brain like a tide, keeping the map, silently chanting, the soul is melting, blood and sheepskin paper are integrated, and the hidden layer is permanently locked in the golden finger. Lizi closed her eyes and moved, the warm current rose from her dantian, and the map in her vision suddenly opened. All the underground airlines in Shanghai are like networks, the source, the old city palace, and the edges of the beach are all under control. She slimmed her eyes and shouted happily, it's done. The map is no longer a paper, it's an extension of my soul. Master, thank you. This far away. I understand, it's not a personal reversal, but a guide to everyone to open the path of immortality. In the afternoon, the construction of the cave was in full swing. The team moved a secret block along the east river of Tupu, and the spirit of the association was opened. The Wanxiang Yuanyuan tripod was placed at the core. Lizi waved his hand and the tripod was bright and bright, the green light was like a fog. An ancient cave was raised on the ground, the outside was like a modern villa, the inside was lying on the spiritual spring, the wall was engraved with protective methods, the air was fresh and the fragrance of mountains, forests, plants and rooms were all complete. The spirit is as thick as a fog, refreshing and makes people feel free to enter. My dear, this is my cave. The Fengfeng residence built with the source tripod is open for viewing. Lizi started the live broadcast, and the mirrors swept the panoramic view of the cave, the flashing blue light of the putong beside the spirit spring, the ring-shaped lights of the live broadcast hall are surround the ancient courtyard, and the garden behind it simulates the scenery, and there is a hidden ghost phantom. The popularity exploded in an instant, from 25 million to 30 million, and the curtain was like a global crazy. The cave is awesome. Open to visit? Pump me. Queen Lizi, a legendary Big V reel. International fans rushed in, and the urban white men in New York swept the screen. I'll come to Shanghai to celebrate the sacred. Lizi smiled and explained in a down-to-earth manner, my dear, the cave is not hiding your own privately. The first level of the alchemy room, live experience, the second level of the live broadcast, global spirit network interaction, the third level of the room, free lottery fans stay for one night and experience the spirit bathing. Come, Qingyu demonstrate. Qingyu stepped into the screen, sat on the edge of the spirit spring, and took a deep breath. Wow, spirit is like drinking a mountain spring, and you can also break through in the later stage of practicing. Sister, this is the starting point of a new era of cultivation. Xiao Wei added the projection of the air method, the protection is full, and the black market party can't get out even if it comes. The live broadcast was redirected, the first batch of fans were drawn, and the video access, a Japanese casual cultivator said, Lizi-sang, spirit is coming. Thank you for opening. The number of fans is stable and the platform's popular searches dominate the screen, #Lizi Cave Open #. Sponsors fly like snowflakes. Silicon Valley Spirit Technology Company has made a new contract to develop a Cave Buds virtual tour application. European hostel sent Land's Spirit Stone to cooperate in building a branch base. Lizi looked at the data on the back, and her heart was full of achievements, from the dicks of 200 fans to the legendary Big V, this is my empire. But the inner heart is quietly turning, the road to rise, from unexpected maps to awakening with golden fingers, from single gun horse live broadcast to team sharing, from personal pleasure to attracting the world. This far away made me become a queen from a girl, not only reversed, but also light towers that light up other people's immortal path. As the sun sets west, Qingyu's stern movement starts. Lizi switched to the live broadcast and said, My dear, after the cave is opened, the battle will be held for justice. Yunshu party hides the black market in the old city, Qingyu takes the team to clear it, and the whole process will be broadcast live. The team moved, and the association will join the team. The alleys in the old city are deep in the night, and the air is hot and the musty smell of the sewer. Qingyu leads the head, GoPro lens sways to capture the street scene, Sister, follow me. The story shows that the 5 parties are in the backyard of the black market, spreading fake news to attract people. Lizi clicked her head, and her golden fingers scanned the cable, the entrance is in front, and the weak point of the garment is locked. Qingyu, go. In the backyard ruins, Yun Shuhua appeared, 5 online red casual cultivators, a training peak, holding a black market talisman, and a long face. The blonde man in the lead smiled, Lizi. Sister Yunshu finally pays you to kill the map. They threw out the talisman fire, and the flames came like dragons, with fishy winds swaying their noses, blocking the retreat. Qingyu shouted, Want to take revenge? I haven't asked me. His body was like a wind, and the fire talisman countered, exploded a group of fire waves, and the dagger stabbed the golden-haired man with a sharp edge, the weakness of my sister's teaching. Yunshu's dog legs are blocked from the outside beach, and we are all caught today. The golden-haired man screamed, his spirit was blocked, and the sword was shining. Lizi's spirit was bursting, the power of the golden elixir came like a mountain, the evil shadow sword swept, and the colorful light swept to open the talisman fire. Qingyu hit the left wing. The 2 people had no idea. Qingyu's fire dragon snatched the 3 people, the daggers were connected to the veins, and the blood light flashed. Sister, the back is clear. Lizi's charm was like a network, sealing the dantian of the last 2 people, and the live broadcast screen captured every step, and the screen was crazy. Qingyu MVP. Take it and don't explode. Justice judgment, Yunshu's party is finished. The association team members were inserted, held the party and escorted back to the branch. The trial live broadcast started at the conference hall, with the lights being severe, and the spiritual projection of the spirit projection was revealed, Yunshu party's communication records and fake news dispersion files, all exposed. Lizi sat in the main seat, and the soundtrack mirror, do you see clearly? Yunshu went from typing to tying the black market, all of them were rude. These 5 people, who assisted in the trance, will be sentenced to 100 years of ban on the spirit, and will never be broadcast live. The blonde man knelt down and begged, You are alive. Yunshu. Lizi sneered, It's a waste. The circle of cultivation, from Qingming Festival today. The curtain turned against you, Lizi won. A sudden reversal. The bigwigs in the cultivation circle overwhelmed the screen and respected him, Lizi, the sound of justice. The association recommends you to be the leader of the new era. Yun Shushu was dragged away, and the live broadcast was full of joy. Lizi's voice was at its peak, with fans exceeding 40 million, and the global spirit network was expanded. Late at night, beside the cave's spiritual spring, Lizi sat alone and looked back at the road to Rise. The gray smell of the rental house, the 50 people in the first live broadcast, the first moment of the map warm current, the spirit war in the outdoor beach, the black material waves of Yunshu, the golden Dan miracle. Every step is like a live broadcast screen. Her heart turned like a river cleared, from a confused dick to a far-fetched queen. This is not the end, it is a new starting point. The family is revived and the global trend of cultivating immortals is so popular that I want to continue. Master's repentance, only by sharing the great way can one be a true immortal. Suddenly, the phone vibrated and a private message was sent to the association. The Shadow Alliance is full of damage, and the last battle is about to come. Lizi stood up, her eyes fixed. The round end is full, and the final settlement is at the end. Team, prepare for the final live broadcast. In Lizi's cave, the poo group next to the spirit spring still retains the smell of dew from last night. The air is filled with the fragrance of the new spirit pill, and the faint smell of osmanthus makes people feel energetic. Outside the window, the water of the Huangpu River was sparkling, and the spiritual wires in the high building were wandering like a net. She took a deep breath and held the Wanxiang Yuan cauldron. The green copper cauldron was as warm as a reliable friend. The private message from the association was still on the mobile phone. The last party of the Shadow Alliance was hidden deep in the source of the river. The evil deputy, a veteran in the early stage of the golden pill, brought a dozen casual cultivators to try to destroy the source of the source. Lizi sneered at the corner of her mouth. From the confusion of the rental house to the current Jindan Peak, she was no longer the timid girl when she walked along this road. Team, move. Qingyu, the image is open. Xiaowei, the way of fighting is in place. Master, you are pressing. This is the last battle, live broadcast liquidation, family group, all unfolded. Qingyu carried GoPro, his eyes flashed with iron blood, patted her shoulder. Sister, I will always be with you. From the fan of the screen to today, we will guard this empire together. Xiaowei shook her short hair, and her toolkit dinged. The shield is full, and I will explore the murderous place deep in the source, first. Li Jing follows with a cane, and her white hair flashed in the morning light, with a low voice, people, stay calm. The map's soul has been completed, and after this battle, the sect regained its vitality. The team dived into the source of the river. Once the live broadcast was opened, the popularity was 50,000, and the curtain was like a global frenzy, the final liquidation. Queen Lizi is invincible. The Shadow Evil League is over, the live broadcast is justified. The dark blue light shone in the cave, the sound of water droplets is like a heartbeat, and the air is turbulent and bloody with the iron lens. The deputy of the Sha Yan Wu Wang, a thin old man named Sha Yan, stood in front of the main throne, smiling in black robe. Little girl, the source has been destroyed, your blood is gone. Brothers, go. 10 casual cultivators came, the sword light talisman was like a net, the evil spirit was like a black fog, the fishy wind swayed, and the retreat was blocked. Lizi's heart was tight, her golden fingers extended like a soul, scanning the rope. The main body's weakness is in the heart of the source, and the black core of the deputy connected the family seal. She shouted, Qingyu, jealous. Xiaowei, break the air. The evil shadow drama was out of the sheath, and the colorful light burst out. The golden elixir was like a sea slamming and pressing. A drama swept the black fog, and the drama was as angry as a dragon to break the 3 scattered cultivators, and the blood light flashed. My dear, see clearly. The Shadow Sha Alliance destroyed my family, and I'm still in debt today. Qingyu rushed forward, and the fire talisman shook, and the fire dragon slammed the 5 people. Sister, Zui Yiqing. These dog legs are the tricks learned by Yunshu. He was agile, and the dagger passed through the throat of a cultivator, and the blood rose, blocking the other person's penis. Go to die. Do you dare to move my sister? Xiaowei's blue shield was flourishing, and the vines rose from the ground to block the wings of the evil spirit. Sister Lizi, your eyes are revealed. The power of inheritance is thrust. Li Jing's stick was placed on the ground, and the blue light was pressed. People, use the source path without any ulterior motive. Lizi pointed at her head, silently recited the mind method, and the Jin Dan injected into the golden elixir. The global spirit network gathered, the fans' thoughts surged like a tide, and the live broadcast screen was crazy. Help Lizi. The spirit is spread. The spirit pressure stormed. She raised her palm and slapped the heart of the source. The palm wind was like a river running, the golden light burst out, and the black core shattered. The evil spirit screamed, turned around and vomited blood and knelt on the ground. The secret library of the source has been opened. The ultimate group of the Tianfeng sect, the ancestors were not a door, but a seal of self-destruction, to prevent the spirit from storm from breaking the city. Leaving a map to unblock it for you. The image floated into the brain. The source of the life is to seal it with your life. Resurrection is not a ruin, it is a melt. The light of Lizi is shining, and the heart is like a fog scattered. It turns out that it is not a sacrificial word, it is a guardian. The family's property is all deep in the source, a heavenly source nucleus. The crystal is like a star, which can blend all images and control all the images. It's done. My dear, the group is untied. Lizi grabbed the origin core. Her spirit was like the universe injecting golden elixir. The cave was shaking, and the source was fully opened. In her view, the underground Shanghai was lingering like a plaything in her palm. Sha-in was sealed by Qingyu. The casual cultivator was fully destroyed. The live broadcast screen was freezing. The popularity was over, and the global search was popular. Lizi explains it. Family legend. Association video access. Lizi, the righteousness is complete. Shadow Sha Alliance is fully destroyed, the source is yours. The Global Immortal Cultivation Alliance, recommend you to be the leader. After the battle, Lizi's live broadcast of the Empire Peak. In the cave live broadcast hall, she opened the map. The source core is placed in the tripod, and the colorful light reflects the mirror. Global people, celebrate. Today we share the complete system of immortal cultivation, from training to golden elixir, and refine all images as the core. Urban spirit recovery is not a dream, but a road. In the first level, spiritual breath enters the door, deeply exhales the attraction. The second level, the interpretation of the method of the air is as insightful as my golden fingers. The third level, the blood fusion and the sharing of the global spirit network. Come, do it with me. She swept her hand, and the blue light rolled out from the screen, and international fans interacted in real time. On the high floor of New York, some people sat down and felt the dantian was hot. The Paris scattered cultivator moved, and the realm rose slightly. The screen was full of words, it's done. Lizi God. Cultivation live broadcast, spreading the world. The popularity has broken down and the platform collapsed again. Lizi announced, the establishment of the Immortal Cultivation and Immortal Live Broadcast Alliance. The World Association and the International Spirit Society have all joined, and the resources are endless. Spirit stones, elixirs, and earthworms are all open. Whoever wants to cultivate immortality, start with live broadcast. Sponsors are like an avalanche. Silicon Valley spends $100 billion to develop the Spirit Network app. European Hidden Club gives source pictures. Lizi's empire is at its peak, and the phenomenon spreads around the world. From Shanghai to New York, young people on the streets take a deep breath, and the tide of cultivation is like wildfire. It's time to put on your face quickly. Yun Shu's review video was connected. She was in the spiritual forbidden room. Her face was as white as paper and her language was trembling. Lizi, you won. I will sell street snacks and never touch the immortals. Lizi smiled and cut into her former black material post. Yun Shu, from picture to hook, the entire live broadcast was exposed. Your 100,000 fans are now my rank alliance. Remember, the tribute is to the right way. The curtain turns against you, Yun Shu Hua. Lizi is finished. Yun Shu lowered his head, and the news of the revolt is flooding the screen. The former competition against the hands is a laughing stock, and Lizi's reversal is full of pleasure. Qingyu stepped into the screen and grinned, Sister, from now on, I am a permanent partner. Not only an assistant, but your iron shield. I will take care of the alliance. Lizi patted his shoulder, and his heart was warm and warm. Xiao Yu, thank you. With you, from confusion to Feng Feng, this road is not alone. Li Jing approached, and the blue light on his rod flashed, and a jade plaque from the gate came over. People, I retreat to the mountains and forests. Your achievements are so successful. Guard the spirit network and share the avenue. He turned away, his back was like a wind, and Lizi knelt down and said, Master, I will be smooth all the way. Finally, she returned to her ancestral home. The spotted wooden door was pushed open, with dusty surfaces, and the air and rotten carries the old ink fragrance. In the building, the old box of the squid was still there. She opened the sheepskin paper, placed the source core, and the golden fingers melted the soul, and the warm current rushed in like a tide. The family's inheritance is full of, the secret library of the Tianfeng sect, the spiritual treasures and dharma doors are like rivers. She sat in a row and turned the source path without any extremes. The source core was injected into the golden elixir. The spirit exploded like a collision between stars. The dantian was hot and waved, and the elixir expanded like the universe. The golden elixir shattered, and the Yuan baby was reconstituted. The golden elixir spirit of the baby appears, round like a pearl, and the whole body is colorful. The realm is stable and the urban spirit in the early stages of the baby is as controllable as a toy. Lizi's eyes were slim, and the waters slipped down, and her heart was filled with rivers and waters, from the urban dick, rubbing her sleepy eyes and broadcasting 50 people live, to the legendary queen, and the fans followed each other, from the surprise of unexpected maps, to the control of the appearance, from the grievance of one person carrying the black material, to the joy of sharing the victory of the team. This rise is not only a personal reversal, but a social change. Cultivating Immortals has emerged from the world, and live broadcasts highlight the path of mortals and immortals. The ambition of the mother, the bright eyes of the mother, are all round. She stood up and opened the window. The neon lights in Shanghai were like stars, and the wind of the river blew, carrying a new spirit. The empire peak, the global influence, her Lizi, the eternal queen.